Yo, yo, yo. I think y'all hear me. Y'all hear Pretty Boy V? You know what I'm saying? There's no sound, so I'm gonna...
Clock. You got to be thinking about that, but sometimes in this moment you do forget. 9 seconds on the clock. They've got to find a way in. 6 as the teleport gets out there, and Madman's gonna touch with 2 on. Good take up into the sky. We are in OT. Where's the early pick going to? As we do see a tackle. Gasklin gonna take out Nectar. Blur gonna drop light back and forth as we are even now 5-5. Fight still commencing. Walls to shut down angles.
Hey, Zealous has gone to March. Monthus, what a Gasklin. No way, dude. Are you kidding me? No way, Mochi. In overtime, when they were just shoved into a corner, bullied, they come out strong.
Yo, can this shit work, bro? Like, for real.
Stronger.
That was a beautiful touch by Madman, jumping up into the sky with Strange, and it just drew so much attention. The value of Strange hitting the sky and putting that shield under his feet.
Bro,
everyone looks up. Everyone puts their focus and damage into a shield with a ton of HP and gets no value anywhere else as the picks just started rolling. And now FlyQuest has asked the group one more big fight here. They have to commit everything, and they've got to get the job done. Oh, as March finds energy early, an early pick.
March Madness. It's just absolutely March Madness right now. And right now, he's on fire.
Yeah, gorgeous play. We do see the strangling prison on the high ground. It did not get a ton of value from Blur there, and we will see Spark Chief ready, Gasklin, Zelos, and Coopertastic just popped off to hold on for the moment as well to probably cancel out Blur's strangling prison there. The fate of both worlds, and here goes the battle again. March finding energy again. March is unstoppable right now as we see light onto the scratching post, and that is going to even the numbers as Blur goes down.
We're gonna fall. Fate of both worlds popped out. Is that ultimate gonna connect? Nope. Dodged away on the backside into the sky. They go flying because of last stand, but everybody's healthy because of the Strategist ultimates right now, except Spark Chief, and Madman gets it done again.
Wow, this is so back and forth, but Moki is still holding on up in the sky. Light falls there from March. Numbers back in their favor. Energy gonna take out March, though, make that 2 as Panic goes down as well. Energy, good ultimate there. Really, really strong. Goddess of Death finding 2, make that 3-month falls, and this should be enough for FlyQuest to shut this down, but we could see a portal in if they buy enough time. Actually, portal was used on the first point. They will not have it here, so this fight is everything.
Yeah, this fight is everything like you said. Shib Mochimon gets stopped. 137 meters though.
Yeah, like 5 minutes.
It's actually crazy how often we have these close games with you and I, man. So, 2 minutes 25 seconds. We're swapping over FlyQuest. Can you guys stop choking or something? Like, what is going on?
Hey, in the positive, there is no chance of a tie here at this.
Like always.
For the side of FlyQuest, they could end this out here and take the series, or we could push this to another game. So well done there by Moki, who just popped off at the correct times, just making things happen. I love to see it. Gotta show some love here to March, who found 3 consecutive first fight picks, giving them a ton of value and early spacing to win those fights.
Much love to the whole team for sure, man. Like the March, like you said, was absolutely crazy. But everybody in Mochimon to go toe-to-toe against FlyQuest, who are a signed roster as free agents, is definitely not easy considering the amount of resources that you get as a signed roster and stuff. So for Mochimon, I mean, the whole roster definitely deserves a massive shout out regardless of what happens here, because right now it's icing on the cake considering the performance they've had so far.
Yeah, this is, this is what I'm looking for. We talk about discovering new stars and teams that may not be signed, and these are those moments that you start getting noticed. You start drawing attention to your name, and I just love being here for it as we push into another OT. And can FlyQuest get the job done, or will they take this to an additional game of... A 4th game at a best of 3 is pretty funny to say out loud, as here we go again.
Pause for a second.
And with the first fight.
Yeah, first fight commences and FlyQuest chooses to not really give up a lot of that space. Sparky wanted to walk in. Interesting. Gets the bubble. Also, Alt had the rocket jump to get out of there once he gets walled off. So FlyQuest obviously wanted to commit Sparky to go aggressive, build up that bubble charge. Without those cooldowns now, FlyQuest are a bit on the back foot. However, the front line, a lot of damage coming into Nectar, forcing that passive early. Light, knowing that, wants to come back through, gets the connect, flies into the sky, breaks him into the team, shut down.
Great work there with the jump, the extra distance. Love to see it. That's a first early pick. Great work. Sparky going to turn on Nectar. March going to find energy, though. Numbers are back and forth. 5 on each side. Blur's going to have to teleport back here if they want to get a touch. Or this might go towards Fly as Light finds Madman. No Vanguards in the front line, holding this space to teleport play at this point, waiting for as many people to revive as possible from the KOs before we start this next fight. Will they be able to make this touch happen? Yes, they will.
They come back through, also going to connect from the floor as he comes through the portal. Oh no, that's brutal for Mochi. They commit the ultimate from Month, and they're still on the objective, so FlyQuest has to give it up for now. Wait out those Stratus ults.
Yeah, we are going to see a double dance floor here from FlyQuest, who are holding on to those Fate of Both Worlds to ensure they get this win, but not overcommitting if they don't need them. March, though, finding Gascon early. Maybe they should have, as we're up in the sky, not able to get anything with the Meteor Rem. And here comes the Strangling Prison out of the background. We do not see the picks happening. The crystals have been popped. The tackle out in the off angle there. March up in the sky, taking out Zelos, though, as Moki is not done yet. Great picks, and there will be one more fight before this either gets finished or we push into point 2.
And it's 30 seconds left. You got a spawn camp. Make sure they don't get a portal out, maybe, or I guess they can't even because they have ultimates. Nobody's swapping to Dr. Strange right now. Spawn camp not giving up. 10 seconds left to go. They're going to have to walk in. FlyQuest, they're going to be so obvious where they are. Maybe Nectar could find a huge pick off on a Zelos or somebody so he can't get an ultimate.
We might see the last stand touch here by Wolverine. No, it's not needed. With 1 second able to get that touch. Really smart decision. Bang! The last stand out. Down goes Blur early. Once again, numbers advantage here for FlyQuest, who are now committing to this fight. We see 2 go down as Nectar falls up in the sky with energy. Make that 3 as they do look like they'll be taking point 1.
That's a massive mistake, I think, out of the side of Mochimon. They needed to take advantage of the position they were in. They knew FlyQuest had to walk forward, touch the point. Maybe force an ultimate earlier or something, man. So right now, not a Mochimon fan necessarily, just a fan of good gameplay. And right now, I don't think they took advantage of the position they were in. FlyQuest now, overtime, ticking down. If they get off the card at any instance, Mochimon recap the objective. It's all over, and we head to that map number 4. Energy's also hiding on this flank, ready to go.
Lurking in the shadows.
What a match here. I mean, I'm with you, though. I think they needed to push there. They didn't do it here. They just held. They just stayed on their heels, saying, hey, we won that. You know, let's do it again. But alt advantage heavily on the side of FlyQuest. You've got to force some stuff out there before the fight starts. And didn't get the job done, as we are going to see this start up. Madman holding on to this Meteor M. Will the dunk commence? Waiting out some cooldowns up in the sky. Strangling Prison. This could be a big dunk. Hey, Gaslit falls. Moki is up by 1. Light trying to find a 3 turn up. Oh, takes out Nectar. Numbers are even. My goodness, right now. This fight is crazy. Light back on Blur. A tackle out. Light trying to find 3. Oh my God, this is insane. Fight Light just absolutely popping off.
Oh, he's
Going
at
out of this point, making sure they have numbers on. So back and forth.
My shit is bugged. What? He's at 85%.
Madman takes out Light, teleport comes through, and there goes the change as Gasklin will be on this Strange here, shoving them in, and Blur gonna teleport back in for the team. Oh my goodness, just so back and forth on each fight. Numbers roughly even again on the point. At this point, just looking at cooldowns. There goes some serious damage on the last stand. Nectar taking out Sparky. It's a great start to this fight, but a last stand right back at him. We don't see the pick there from Light. Eye of Agamotto gets popped. That could be enough.
It could be. It is.
Down goes Blur.
Blur somehow.
Oh my God, Blur falling is huge. And now without him on the front line, you have nobody to touch this cart. Potentially FlyQuest could get it done. They can get another pick here. Mochimon, they've got Madden with another Meteor M. He could go massive with it right now.
The Loki.
Oh, the Meteor's up, the crystals are out, the shield is up. No value with it, besides a little bit of damage to the shield there. As we see Gascon still holding on to this point on the front line. We see the thing out now for Blur. No more Groot. It's just going to be some raw cart fighting as Energy gets the early pick on March. Light on the Madman, Energy on the Month, and that's gonna do it there as the team is sweeping.
Wait, off the cart. See, oh, no.
My goodness, that would have been insane. Tackling everyone off card to have it run out of OT would have blown my mind, but it did not happen as FlyQuest takes home the series 2-0 and 1.
2-0 and 1 team, man. What a freaking map. What, that might be just the best map of rivals we've seen in ever. I don't know. I feel like that happens every time, but that genuinely was exciting out of this match that's still early on in the tournament, right? We're not,
that shit, bro.
we're not even in the championship games necessarily just yet. So Mochimon put up a great fight.
Let's see, bro,
I mean, look at the stats, dude. Like 43, 50,000 damage.
We've already done way more than we needed to do.
I'm the real
insane on both team sides. What a performance from everybody in this match. What are you looking at? What are you just made like the Pog champ face. I saw that.
87,000 healing by Cooper-tastic on the Luna. It might be the biggest number I have ever seen on a fight, only going to 0.4 or 5, right? Like, it's just insane. The amount, it's just a positioning difference, right? That's just an understanding of keeping your team up despite what's going on in the fight, and knowing that high ground, knowing those off angles, and not being found by a Wolverine, which is actively hunting you at all times, man. This has been so fun to watch. But before we talk and dive into more of these stats, let's check out those highlights.
What the hell?
No.
I need to see, bro. I'm gonna work on the thumbnail, bro. I'll work on the intro later.
Trapping all those fighting souls, but yet across the world I see you standing in my way. I remember the time, the place we used to fight like the sun and moon, and I wonder if ever there was a time that we were friends. And I have only shadows looming, and yes, that time has come for me to seek you out. We are set now for our last reunion. Break the chains, find your way, come find me. Do you remember who you really are? Show me that you are still the only one for me. I'll be waiting for you. Rise, raising up your fists and smashing through time walls. Before the rich winters again. We are rebels till the end. Rise, open your mind. Hold on to your powers. No one can stop us. We are rivals till the end of time. We will clash, no matter where. We will fight, racing across time and space. 'Cause you are We are Cloak and Dagger. We are hope and fear. Score one for Tandy.
Lights out. Score one for Ty.
A boom of life.
Log in,
My time to
guys.
shine.
Y'all guys need to log in. Log the fuck in. Log in.
Co-op time. Us against the world.
Random table. Sweet.
Widow standing by. Target
Target neutralized. The Widow's bite is lethal. Hit them till they don't get up. You can rest now, Bucky.
It's fantastic. Whoa.
No way to miss now. Plasma burst! Widow style.
Let's race! Yeah, they're coming. Don't get back up. Coming
Anyone
at
in the
you.
chat, bro? Anyone want to say what's up? Anyone want to say what's up? I'm alone. I'm alone.
Told you I was the best.
Maybe I'll do that Shawn White.
Remember the dusk, the lights gripping tightly, trapping all those fighting souls. But yet, across the world, I see you standing in my way. And remember the time, the place we used to fight, like the sun and moon, and I wonder if ever there was a time that we were friends. The night has fallen, shadows looming, and yes, that's a past for me to seek you out. We are set now for our last reunion. Break the chains, find your way, come find me. Do you remember who you really are? Show me that you are still the only one for me. I'll be waiting for you. Please, open your eyes, raising up your fist and smashing through circles. Before the rifts winters again, the arrival till the end. Rise up, your mind, hold on to your powers. No one can stop us. The arrival till the end of time.
Right, top of 8, bro. I always do some bullshit like this. I always do some shit like this. I'm not even surprised.
Got him, Tippy! Hey, check out this big acorn! One for the squirrels! It's a squirrel nami!
Bro,
Where do you think you're going?
yo, Tsunami has to be like a Japanese name or word. Has to be one. Has to be.
Anybody want some nuts?
I think we can only put like 3 different. Don't just duplicate that shit. Just duplicate it and then do like features. So it's a lot easier to process.
Be strong. Feel the thunder.
Oh, the tongue.
Feel the wrath of the goddess.
Magic eraser. Eraser that shit. Let's erase this, 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 and this.
Just embrace the light!
Lights out. Us against the world.
My turn to shine!
Yeah, that thing is looking nice. What the fuck? Really him.
say fireworks. Powering up. Maximum pulse.
No, no, no. No, 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 no.
The moon haunts you. Say good night.
Say hello to my little friend. I'm like a sun, I'm like a lightsaber.
Tremble before power.
Lightsaber. Yo, bro, why no one keep watching, yo? Yo, pull up,
Welcome
guys.
back as we just finished up FlyQuest versus Mokimon, and that was an insane battle. I love that being our first game that we've seen together. It just always seems to work out that way with me and you, man.
It really does. I mean, obviously, if you're watching a cast and you got Shib and Dog being on screen, you might have
Always
some
good.
great gameplay. You know, commentary questionable. You know, questionable obviously, but I think in the gameplay wise, we have some sick games that we've been watching, and you know, who knows what's gonna happen more further down the line, because the parity of the scene seems to be just crazy right now. I mean, the fact that we had 2 teams in round of 7 go that far, that's crazy.
Yeah, and we're talking about these teams that we've seen at the top level, and we did just witness NTMR or Nightmare in the Invitational, and they're going to be up here in this bracket as well on the lower side against Sue Storm, so this should be another fun one to watch as we get to see them play again, and they're not afraid to run some more unique comps, a little more divey with stuff like the whole.
Azure.
Yeah, I would not be
That's a
surprised
Spidey
if
team,
Nightmare, you know, just
That's a
absolutely
Spider-Man
is
team.
on a tear in this series, just because we haven't really seen too many of these
Symbiotic
players,
surface
you know?
back-to-back games
And
on
that's the thing, like you talked about earlier, you know, we want to see these star players, we want to figure out these new talents that are going to
I think
compete with the
Nightmare should
top
win
level.
this, bro.
So
I can't lie,
you're looking
bro. I
for
don't
Sue
know
Storm's
who-
side, maybe
a lot of these
watching out for a
players.
couple of these players to see if
The
they
only
can compete,
dude
because
that I
we
know
know
is 760.
what Nightmare is capable of as they ban Gru on their side. We've seen Kendrick
Like,
on the
that I
Winter
know
Soldier
of,
pop
you know
off,
what
go
I'm saying?
absolutely insane. They protect the Star-Lord as an Adam Warlock ban came from Sue Storm's side.
Yeah, and we didn't see Mace in the last few games on the side of Nightmare. So Mace will be back, a very strong Vanguard in the front line. So that's going to be something we'll be checking out here. We know that Melina is a demon on the Hela. We have seen a ton of that. Pizza Demon, great backline. Same with Beza. There's just been a ton of success on this team, and they do have the potential. I think it was more of just a, you know, figuring things out when things got rough for them. It seemed like it was a steamroll when they were going down. You know, it would just never seem like they could bounce back. So maybe we see that change up here. You mentioned seeing some new players that, you know, we're excited to see on the side of Sue Storm. That's what I've been loving with this tournament, is seeing these new players pop off and put a name out there for themselves. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they got here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it indeed. Default bans. Wait, Nightmare, the team that bans Venom? What? Where are we? What year is this? That's insane. I mean, we could see that the Sue Storm was hovering Venom and Spider-Man, so maybe this team known more for one-tricking that dive comp. But considering Luca, you know, in the previous at Marvel Rivals Invitational in the $100,000 tournament, he was like exclusively on Venom. So interesting that they're the ones that have to ban it this time around.
Yeah, you mentioned getting some more information upon team picks, right? Like knowing teams' compositions. A lot of these players do elect to hide their profile, which, you know, can make sense. Try not allow these teams to get early information, but sometimes teams feel confident enough to let that just kind of fly. So maybe, you know, that takes a part, especially early on in the first set of bans before we get into these games and find out, you know, maybe who the problem was for you in that first map. But Here we go again as we are pushing here on Clintar. You know, one of my favorites to be playing, and we are going to see similar compositions, but we do have the Thing out there on both sides. A very strong Brawl Vanguard that can provide some serious team value with that damage reduction.
Up for 1 second.
Yeah, I feel like in the Invitational we saw a lot more of Midtown. Now we're seeing some Clintar going into today in North America. Nightmare's defensive hold are going to be sticking with that Rocket Raccoon alongside Kendrick in that Bucky. And Millennia, obviously, like you said, really top tier hella player. Against 5M on the other side. Magic also for 762 was hovering the Spider-Man. Now going to be playing the Magic. So that changeup, we haven't seen a lot of Magic so far in the pro scene, at least consistently, besides the touch the objective or something.
Probably looking for
yeah, in Season 0, Magic had a very strong presence, was slightly changed up with the nerf. Since then, we really haven't seen much, but Magic, a very strong pseudo-tank as well, can draw a lot of focus, but you got to play properly. Magic finding that off angle is what you want to see off the start here. Mace going to be putting some pressure back onto Sue. Sue, though, just running it down as we see Kendrick going to have this combination, just too much damage there. Very difficult to play the Thing into raw damage. 5M gonna turn that around on Kendrick, though. Numbers even out as Luca's gonna start brawling. Millennia gonna find 5M right back, and the res going up for Kendrick as once again Nightmare is gonna hold on to this first fight.
Yeah, nice first fight for Nightmare. Luca creating space, diving in on the Thing, considering the strategist, making sure that they were never in a good spot. Ultimates available for Sue Storm's side, considering they were able to build up so much healing just off of their front line, taking all that damage. And Millennia opening up the fight onto Memory's backside of the point. But 5M trades back. I mean, he's been good on Hella so far and finds his counterpart here.
Yeah, is going to get that res there from that pick as well onto the Loki. A team-up that maybe gets slept on in terms of just understanding, but a very strong team-up nonetheless. We haven't seen a ton of Thor at this level of play, but it still works very well for Loki and his sister. As here we go again with the double. Guardian pops there, no shield. Everybody has no idea where they're at this point. It's a Venn diagram out there as Kendrick dunks on Yuko, and it's just going to keep the fight going as no one finds any more value. A ton of Qs being pressed. 762 back on Kendrick. Pizza gonna be rezzing up Kendrick there from the station and still holding off this off angle here as we will see Rocket getting some more value. Dunk down to the back line. Luca's gonna fall, and it looks like Sue should be taking point one here.
Yeah, they should be, but Mace walks in. Yep, gonna go down to the punch from this character, from the Thing. Nobody else can go through, and they fall. So Nightmare, bit of a weird first fight there, or second fight rather, and that switch to the Bucky seems to have panned out for Sue Storm, getting off the Magic, going to the Winter Soldier. Kendrick was finding value, but with the copy, with the ultimate out of the defense, right, or sorry, the offense, with Memories in the copy, getting another invisible boundary out there, whereas Nightmare can't do that with Pizza Demon, they were able to secure that objective alongside the Kraken impact from 762, and Kendrick's was stopped because of Strategist ultimate.
Yeah, when you get those Venn diagrams of those invisible boundaries, it's very difficult to make plays because you got to have the confidence to push through to see the team inside. And we did see that on both sides of the Buckies. Just had a little more value on the side of 762 as 5M's going to find Kendrick, a very strong Bucky player. But once again, got to get rezzed up there by Pizza Demon. Just getting a ton of value out of these rezzes early on, allowing the team to play a little more aggressive, not choosing to hold that high side, which we saw a ton in our first game. And it looks like Sue Storm got this full alleyway push early on, just simply because no one wanted to fight on that height. Millennia gonna find 5M and get some vengeance here as they are pushing in with the Eye of Agamotto. Kendrick gonna dunk on the entirety of the team. Will they be able to get a pick and reset it? Yes, Kendrick does. Waiting this out a little bit as it's difficult to make a play through the boundary. Just kind of waiting for this last possible second. There's the launch, gonna choose to send it back to the team and play it safe.
Yeah, they already have numbers. Use Cosmic Yarn, knowing you cannot get the elimination through the Cosmic Boundary unless they have perfect timing. And they also have the team up here. And once you've got that team up with the Rocket Raccoon, Kendrick, might as well have your own ultimate on the other side. Mace tries to go in with the Meteor M, looking for the dunk on the back line. But in the front line, all the pressure committed from Luca and Kendrick just collapses Sue Storm. Back to the spawn they go. Perfection out of Nightmare. Really capitalizing on running the Thing. You can see Luca expanding his hero pool. That's what you want to see if you're a Nightmare fan, considering where Luca was in the previous week in the Invitational.
Like every time I see
Yeah, I
Magic,
like to
already
switch up
know
here.
this.
We did see the nice sweep there. Nightmare, the
unless
duelist,
it's like
very
the
strong.
Shikigami
You know, cleaning everything up, resetting the fight.
Blazer?
Ultimate advantage gonna still be on their side as we will see the Yarn play. I don't think it's a horrible combination to allow the Yarn as you go in on the thing with the clobbering time, because it allows you to just get a ton of damage during that time where they're just locked in on stun. And there it goes as we see clobbering time get popped. The entirety of the team locked up. They're trying to follow up there, but Kendrick falls early. Memories with a great shot there on to get Kendrick to get the KO during that ultimate. That is some serious value. Meledia back on 5M. Pizza Demon raising Baser. Luca gonna fall from 7-6-2, and it's still back and forth. But it looks like Sue Storm still has the pressure. But will it be enough for them to push this through? Maybe not. But Meledia falls down again. So maybe so, as they shove them into this doorway.
Yeah, Memories did go down to Millennia with the ultimate on the backside. Portal is well committed here from Luca towards the objective. Millennia's in the spawn, just came back, doing some damage through the portal, and is able to find the elimination. Sue Storm picked apart with a minute left to go off of a portal from Luca. And now they just get to work with this pressure, find the pickoffs as well into Iffy. And it was a strange fight there from Nightmare, and it was a very long one, but they were able to come out on top. Nice portal play from Luca and the rest of the team. They have that advantage again. The snowball can start. 50 seconds left to go for Sue Storm on their attack as they swap back to Magic.
Interesting strategy for sure.
Yeah, I don't mind the Magic pick. I am a little concerned that they didn't want to put that strange portal out and just try to find a way through. It might have been on cooldown. Maybe I missed that happening prior in those fights. But shoving through here with 30 seconds, it kind of forces your team to burn everything as you make this space. Using that portal to get the free space and push for you allows you to kind of throw it in an angle that lets your team have a slight advantage. They're burning everything on the way in here. Mace goes up. Meteor M trying to find somebody. Shield goes up on King. Just kind of holding, not sure where the meteor is. Through that boundary. And nobody's fallen yet as we get another for the side of Sue, who takes out Kendrick early. The rest should be up, though. Yep, Kendrick right back in the fight. Nobody even out again, though, as Memories takes out Luca. Back in their favor. Sue Storm trying to make a name for themselves here on this push. Iffy gonna take out Baser. 5M gonna drop Kendrick again. And that should be enough for them to take point two.
I don't know what's happened, what's in the water of Marvel Rivals players, but it feels like we're watching crack teleplayer after crack teleplayer. No portal available either for Luca. I think he also had the Eye of Agamotto, just going to give it up, though, wants to go back to the thing, give his team a little bit more support on that edge, and 762 sees that switch, goes back to Winter Soldier after committing the Dark Child for the previous fight.
Yeah, I do think that was a unique switch. I'm not sure how much value they got out of it. I know Magic is just like we talk about pseudo tanking, the understanding of just drawing focus while still having the ability to have iframes and invulnerability frames where she takes no damage. Iffy, nice early pick there though. That is going to matter a ton as they have a ton of space now to work with. Luke onto this off angle, good dash out there, resetting to the team as they still have a ton of space here. Getting out of this small choke is a good offensive push for point 3 with little time on the clock. They've got 48 seconds to make something happen, and ult advantage is in Nightmare's favor with 3 up, but now they're equalizing as Sue Storm just getting those Qs ready together. Should be a pretty even fight here as we begin with Yuko's ultimate in the sky. Bang! Down goes Baser early. That is a massive first pick.
Huge first pick. They also come through disengaged from Kendrick, clobbering time, but nobody goes down. The boundary is here for Memories after the copy, and now 762 able to just get reset after reset. Nightmare's ultimates were futile, and now Millennia, I mean, he's just caught out, unfortunately. You have Baser's boundary at the very least coming back through. 762 also doesn't have a reset necessarily. Has to come back through, but they have to get into this boundary to touch, and they do. But the damage should be there on the Kendrick, and the rest of the team is Nightmare just funneled towards the objective.
Wow. I gotta show love to that touch there by Baser. I actually thought there was a moment that he may hold on, but no, I don't think it's gonna be enough for them as they're slowly falling. 762 gonna take out Mace. King gonna be dropping another 5M on Pizza, and that should be enough. They're just trying to dance here with Luca on, oh my goodness, on Captain America, but it's not enough. The full push here from Sue Storm.
What is happening? What is happening, dude?
Something with this map, you know what I mean? It's just, teams just clutch up. Yeah, I don't know. Clintar is crazy.
Well, I've had this theory. I feel like, the Marvel Rivals scene, I think that the gap is getting closer between the top teams and then everybody else, right? We're in round 7 now. In the lower brackets for both of these teams, right? They could go home, but more importantly, I don't know. It's just something the Hella players are competing with each other. There's a bunch of Hella one tricks out there. You could find, you know, an unsigned one that'll play just as well as Millennia or in the last game, Energy. So, you know, we talked about last week how they're, you know, these are the best Hella players in the game, and, you know, Delena and Cal and Energy. But, you know, going into today, I feel like everything's sort of flipped on its head. We're having, you know, insane play from 5M player and, you know, earlier out of some more Hella players. So it's kind of insane how much the scene is sort of kind of rebounding, and a lot of top teams are maybe being finally caught up to.
You gotta love the idea of a team just trying to put some friends together at a top level and get going in the tournament just to see, you know, if they can make something happen. And then being on the big stage like this and showing up and showcasing that, hey, we might be one of the top teams in the game. Just that alone is why Marvel Rivals is such a fun game. Just having the ability to join up on a tournament like this in game with some friends or with some teammates that you met out there and climbing the ladder and then performing at a top level and showcasing how strong you can be. Like you said, you know, maybe seeing something like 5M player on this Hella pop-off, showcasing that, wow, I might be one of the top Hellas in the game at this point, as we are now looking at Millennia, just like that, gonna take 5M right down. And we know Millennia's name, not afraid to make plays happen.
No, I mean, if there's something we do know, Shib, it's that we do know nothing. I think that's the best way to phrase it. Meanwhile, Nightmare holding on to this point, right, taking that early pick and really trying to secure this objective. Forcing those crystals out early on Sue Storm's side is huge for them moving forward, especially since 5M's trying to come back through and get the challenge onto Kendrick, and they actually collapse on him quite well.
Yeah, well done there. You like those off-angle plays. Like I said, you don't see a lot of these duelists looking through their tanks. 5M, another pick there on Luca. Luca playing a little bit aggressively onto that push. Baser going to find 762 and try to even this out a little bit. Ton of space there driven by Baser. Like to see that. Still staying inside that boundary, but they are going to reset as a team. Should be numbers up slightly still. Good retake as a squad, but they got to get back in there quick before the retake again from the side of Sue Storm. Ultimates are up. Kendrick holding on, and there goes the Kraken impact. Shield goes up, but it's not going to matter as Kendrick gets one. Reset again. Luca onto the King after the teleport, pushing the team back in. Make that two, soon to be three. Kendrick just resetting here off of these clones and just finding a ton of value, giving them enough space to take point one.
And Kendrick is so good at Winter Soldier. Yeah, that's going to give them point number one. You can see the mechanical prowess diving in with his shift to make sure he can get another elimination onto the Loki. I mean, Kendrick really is one of the best Winter Soldiers that we have in the game, and Millennia is looking for more again. Oh no, King's Fan got lulled into a sense of security there. Early pick off by Millennia. Does get traded by Iffy. Usually, a lot of these Hella players are aware that once their position is given up, they want to fall back. In this case, no. Actually gets Sue Storm maybe an early engage there, as Zuko looking for an early Meteor M is countered by Crystals and too many people from Nightmare's side playing around the point.
Yeah, try to be an aggressive little take there. I like that play, forcing some cooldowns out by shoulder checking in there with the anti-street charge up in the sky. Meteor M not able to find any purchase. 5M holding this high ground, resetting to the team as they are going to take a low ground push. Yes, and well done there on the early attack by Iffy, forcing out some cooldowns. Millennia back on King. Baser on 5M. 762 taking out Luca with a reset. Will they be able to make something happen? Try to get the KO. Mace going to drop 762, and it's so back and forth, but Nightmare looking really good on this push right now, as Millennia is going to take out Memories and potentially more.
Yeah, time for Sue Storm to now just regroup, catch your breath in that previous fight. It almost worked out, obviously, like you said, with Iffy and his own ultimate. But now this card's very close to the end. You have to have a good engage here. Make sure King Fan can get his ultimate off, because you have strategic advantage with Memories having his copy and Baser not having a bounty.
One thing I have noticed is just the lack of Star-Lord in these games. I'm surprised when Magneto gets through that bubble, gives Star-Lord so much value. Luke with a nice punch there on 5M. Down goes 5M with an early KO. Should be a bit of an advantage as we do see the boundary get popped. At this point, the team is just throwing heels in without even seeing where they're at. Millennia gonna take out King early. Will they find another? Mace holding on to the Meteor M, and here it comes down. That should be enough to get one. Yes, as Yuko goes down, and a Mace, Luca back and forth, space at this point driven, and point two taken by Nightmare.
I love how Mace has been using his Meteor M's throughout the fight. Better than Yuko for sure. Something's not been really there for him on the other side, not using it to counter ultimates like Mace has been. And then maybe to your point with the Star-Lord not being played from earlier, it's just something alongside. I just think Winter Soldier is just far too strong right now. Alongside Hela, with these two characters getting through in the pick ban system, and you can see why with Kendrick finding the opening pick onto Memories. Unfortunately, Star-Lord just can't do that, or with Millennia on the other side, pop off with that case, and Mace and them are trying to move forward. Clobbering time, catches on Iffy as well. That stagger is going to be big, and right now, Nightmare, they're doing really good. Sue Storm getting staggered is really, honestly, quite terrible because now we're entering last fight territory. Sue Storm has to come out of spawn. The cart's been pushing the whole time. Nightmare's aggression is paying off.
Yeah, you make a great point there about Sorlet. Honestly, you're right. I think it's just due to the fact that Hela has been let through in these bans, which typically we have seen that not be the case, at least in past tournaments. Maybe that will change as we climb up throughout this tournament, as Hela's obviously trying to ego check each other a little bit. We do have the invisible boundary. Great redrop back here. Clobbering time goes out early. Iffy gonna take out Kendrick, and that's a nice start. 5M with the off angle with that shield is very strong. That Guardian shield there. 762 collapsing on a Baser. Will they find another Millennia? Gonna dash out and escape it, but not for long, as Memories is gonna clean that up. And there is 2 minutes and 46 seconds on the clock for Nightmare to try to get this done.
Ultimate still ready to go. Sue Storm committed four ultimates rather. I mean, that was a lot into that previous fight. Nightmare now coming in with their very own. Mace can counter 5M's ultimate as well with the Meteor M once 5M commits the Goddess of Death from the sky. So right now it's just a mismatch, and without ultimates. Kendrick finds the opening. That's not good.
Yeah, it's a good initiation there. Good early pick from Kendrick. Does a great job here on Bucky. You mentioned the power of Bucky, and it's just no joke what you can do with this hero, especially in the right hands. Pizza Demon going to follow up there on King. Kendrick taking out 762. Odds are heavily in their favor now. Clobbering time goes out into the back line. If he's going to find Baser, though, try to even this out. 200 HP, and it's not going to last very long. Mace going to drop 50. Kendrick on Yuko. 5M tries to pop that ulti in the sky. Out goes the Goddess of Death, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough, as they're not going to be able to touch. They do fall down. Millennia going to be taking out 762. 5M lands and gets beat.
There's Spider-Man touch. They have nobody there.
Nice idea.
Yeah, unfortunate there. That's the tough thing about Hela, is you don't want to be the one on Hela to hold point down, and they were making some serious plays there, but all that matters, and you mentioned this in the last series, is the point. Doesn't matter how many picks you get, doesn't matter if those KOs come rolling through, if you don't turn that point towards your side. And it did go to Nightmare. Nightmare gonna push this into OT with a little bit more time on the clock, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. They get to 2 minutes and 32 seconds, I think, and Sue Storm goes up to 1 minute for their attacking side. We'll see if, they want to mix up their composition. First time they ran Magic. 2 minutes and 43 seconds for Nightmare's side. And right now, Sue Storm, they've experimented with the Magic first point. This time, I think they're kind of locked in. They have 762 playing the Winter Soldier. He's been consistent for them in that playstyle. But Nightmare, we talk about Kendrick being super good on that hero, on Winter Soldier. The rest of the team, I've heard, a lot of pros will talk about how Pizza Demon is one of the smartest strategist players in the game right now. Baser's also incredibly good. But we've heard a lot about how Pizza Demon just well-timed Loki copies, well-timed ultimates, really doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and that's what you want out of a strategist player in this game. You can't necessarily carry the game as a strategist, but you for sure can make mistakes, and Pizza Demon tends to not make many.
Yeah, it's like, you're right. Maybe you can't hard carry a game, but you sure can direct the game. You have that influence over the fights that can switch everything for your team. We've seen a lot of these early picks, and it gives a lot of credit to the duelists saying, they won that fight with the early pick, but at the end of the day, a strategist, a well-timed Loki Crystal, a well-timed ultimate, canceling somebody out or finding some sort of CC in the right moment is everything for the fight. As we start up with our first fight here, Kendrick on the high side, gonna get that shield and find value out of it. Nice early pick and great positioning there by Kendrick.
Yeah, 30 seconds left to go, too. You can't afford another loss. 5M getting KO'd.
Bro, if someone
Not exactly what you want to see. 20
on
seconds left to go on the clock. Nightmare matching the flank like you mentioned, but it was with Kendrick instead of Millennia. So playing around the Bucky heavily right now is panning out for Nightmare. They've built up the copy on Memory side. We'll see if Sue Storm can take advantage of the copy early. When do they want to use the boundary? It's now, early on in the fight. Disengaged is Nightmare. They're waiting until they build their own strategist ultimates.
good shit.
Yeah, good drop back there. Great positioning. May's gonna lead this, trying to find value out of the Bucky. Does not land it. 5M gonna, 5M falls early from Pizza. Great pull there by Pizza, capitalizing on those cooldowns we talked about. Great pull there by Kendrick up in the sky, trying to follow up, make that one. Can I see two? It doesn't even need to happen, as they are unable to touch the point. And Nightmare gonna be holding this thing and try to make their push to end this game.
Beautiful first hold. It's very difficult to cap out with a minute, although we did see it happen in the previous series with
I don't think they
Mochi.
even got a tick.
So for Sue Storm's side, you know what? It's just not really your map, it feels like,
Bro,
so far. 2 minutes and 43 seconds is daunting. They could
Nightmare
do
is
it,
pretty
but
decent, bro.
I mean, 5M's flanks were found out. He could not get the Invisible Woman shield, and you know, we talked about how Pizza Demon was crazy. You know, gets that pull, I think, alongside Bazer's pull, if I'm not mistaken.
Bro,
so, you know,
games that I've
either
watched,
way,
bro,
the strategist
I've never
gameplay
seen a
absolutely
map,
on
bro.
point right now for Nightmare.
Yeah, I'm with you. You know, just the wherewithal to understand Guardian shields, right clicks on the invis, right? So valuable on a duelist 1v1 because it's no longer a 1v1. If you have that shield, not only protecting you but healing you, allowing you to play more aggressive, that 1v1 is very, very difficult. It is such a combo right now to have something like Hella with that on an off angle because it makes them virtually unstoppable on these off angles. You have to commit so much damage over to those angles to try to get a pick back that it just forces eyes away, and it really worked out there. Great positioning by Kendrick. I love the play there. Baser threw that right click, I believe, up there in the pull. It was just well done. I do like what I'm seeing here from Pizza and Baser. And Pizza's gonna be, this is a unique thing to see here. We haven't seen this much. It's gonna be on the Wanda just to allow Mace to have that sword for the first fight and then switch back to a strategist. Really cool take there as we see the sword swinging down main.
Great point out. I mean, that gives them early ultimate charge, and Mace, if anybody can get value out of Meteor M, it's him. So that ult charge definitely going to matter in the long term because they have so much time on the clock. I mean, they either find a pick off with Millennia or they build up ults. So right now, Sue Storm not even paying attention to the flank. That's not what you want to see. Millennia shuts down this early defense.
Yeah, that's a scary beginning here, especially when the Rocket's not on the field. No res is off. That punch is going to matter. Great haymaker there by Luca, delivering some serious damage. 762 trying to even this out, though. Luca finds another. Odds heavily on the side of Nightmare on this push. And at this point, I think it's a matter of time with this pressure. It should be enough here. 762 not able to touch, and the W goes to Nightmare.
Yeah, Nightmare reclaimed their sort of integrity or whatever on that map because they just were able to, you know, clinically walk down the other team. Right? Generally, we saw on their defense, I feel like they were a bit scattered. They were, you know, making some mistakes they usually wouldn't. And for Nightmare's side, they sort of regrouped, came back together under Kendrick, and win map number 1 against Sue Storm in this round 7.
I love the way Sue Storm was looking on offense, but I think they did struggle a bit on that defense. Even in the OT, those off-angle pushes were the right play, but these teams at this level know that is coming. You've got to have maybe some more commit or at least an understanding that things could turn against you. I just think that Nightmare really looked clean, especially after that first push against them.
Yep, they look clean. I mean, Kendrick this is the meta for him, and the rest of the team obviously look really good. We'll see if they can close it out on map number 2 after these highlights.
Yo, what? Yo, right now we're on a commercial break, so I don't think there's actually There's just So drop 73, 62, 80, 62.
Remember the dust, the lights gripping tightly, trapping all those fighting souls, but yet across the world I see you standing in my way.
what's up, chat? There's people in the chat. Yes, what's up, bro? How you doing? How you doing? I think this might put fly plus above him. Did I put the sun? Yeah. I think I put sun. I can't calculate like that. I need to put fly quest above. I like the quick thing, but I have morals and shit. So. Fly quest up there. What's up? They're doing what's up. Type shit.
Anyone say fireworks? Powering up. Maximum pulse.
The moon haunts you. Say good night.
That's the new good night skin.
Tremble before blast.
Welcome back, everyone, as we just got through game one of Nightmare versus Sue Storm. And honestly, Sue Storm looked really good, especially on their first attack. What'd you think?
They did. You know, they had things going for them. You know, LM was pretty good. You know, or sorry, 5M. I don't know what's going to LM. 5M player was playing very well on the Hella so far. I mean, he was being able to match Millennia until about halfway through, and Millennia was like, you know, he realized who he was, and he was just kind of running him down, making sure they were never comfortable. You know, going into this next map, maybe some different bans and protects are going to come through. I know a lot of teams will talk about how, you know, map number 2, you want to change things up. We saw that in the FlyQuest game as well, because we saw 3 different compositions in their entirety. You know, obviously there's a lot of things that go into dictating how, you know, maps play out, and bans, protects, and, you know, the map themselves can dictate whether a composition is good or not. So a lot of things are in the minds of these players right now as we go into another ban protect phase.
Yeah, I'm curious if we're going to see a shakeup here. We did see a lot of consistency from what we saw initially. Obviously, them flexing some different heroes on this initial screen. So, you know, it could be a bit of a trolls. We see Warlock banned out immediately from the side of Sue Storm, just shutting that down a little bit for Baser there, I believe, if I remember correctly. And then there goes the Groot, which I don't argue right now. Groot, I do think you either got to shift your composition up or you've got to match the Groot to have contention with how strong he is currently. So not a bad ban, as we do see the lockdown again from Star-Lord.
Yeah, interesting. This time, Sue Storm, like they banned the Adam Warlock last time. This time, Nightmare bans Groot instead of the Venom. We're going to Aegis Path. They think, you know, the Venom probably more manageable to deal with against instead of the Groot. And Luna Snow ban again for Sue Storm. I think this is the exact same banned phase for them. The Protect's obviously making sure they get the Venom this time for Nightmare. You know, they obviously can have Luca really play the Venom again like he did previously. They have pretty much anything in the bag here. They're going to ban out the Spider-Man this time. It makes sense. 762 seems to be a bit of a Spider-Man player, and they want to run that tandem of Iffy and 762 on the Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's just a really smart banning phase, if I'm being honest, for Nightmare, because they can run that Venom, but they, at least from not what we've seen, we haven't seen Spider-Man on their side Venom. takes a ton of space and is very distracting. A ton of HP with those shields. You can initiate with your web if you have your ultimate up because you just get so much shield. You have the time to get that cooldown back. So very strong presence in taking space, but when Spider-Man is around, it is scary with that initial dive. So taking them off that fight allows them to run the Venom if they need to without having the threat of Spider-Man just devastating backlines. So I like that ban out.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how 762 does on the Magic instead. It's so interesting because, you know, these teams obviously have their identities. You know, for Sue Storm's side, Nightmare knows they play a lot of Spider-Man. Obviously, for us in the public eye, we don't really get to see a lot of that scrims, a lot of the practice and stuff between these teams. But for Sue Storm, I'm sure they're practiced, and Nightmare knows, you know, they love to play that Venom dive just as much as Nightmare used to, which, by the way, this time they don't even really care about it anymore. They're like, the thing, that's our jam. So Luca playing a lot more of that this time around, and Sue Storm gonna go for those hard dives with Iffy, create space for 762 to come alongside the backside. Maybe find a one-shot on Magic.
Yeah, Venom does a great job on offense. I consider him more of an offensive-sided hero. Obviously, can just be a menace despite the situation. So maybe they elect to go, oh my goodness, Melania immediately going to drop that Magic, maybe giving you a hint of why Magic may not be as selected, which is just where the state of Hela is right now. Those 1v1s are difficult to take if you get hit in the head twice and immediately KO just like that. Numbers heavily again on Nightmare's side early on, just like the early pick. It's going to be enough as Kendrick going to take out Iffy as well. Does a great job anti-dive. That's just how Bucky works. And Melania is just popping off here, finding another on King.
Hello.
Yep, you can see the priority of the high ground. Millennia pulls back in 5M. The expertise on Hela is here. Millennia absolutely crazy. And Nightmare, they did just a good job as a team to play around that height. Make sure Millennia's supported. Kendrick's playing that counter dive for the Venom whenever that comes in. Also, if he swaps over to the thing, 762 swapped over to Winter Soldier just to feed again. So doesn't maybe seem to be a hero issue right now for Sue Storm. It just seems to be a bit of a skill issue.
At this point, we're walking spawn door. This gets a little disrespectful, a little overconfident. 90 HP, able to escape still. Well done usage of the cooldowns there at this point. You don't want to fight him at the door. It's just going to give them that free ult charge unless you're feeling real confident on your momentum. But so I like that retake here. May still taking that space. Ultimates fully up for the side of Nightmare. Now it's just about not overcommitting them and making sure they can sustain these next few fights.
5M just swapped off Hela. He's on Punisher now. They don't even have Rocket Raccoon out here, so they're not going to have a team up with Winter Soldier and Punisher. Sue Storm definitely inventing new ways to play the game because we usually don't see this composition played for really any pro team.
Yeah, definitely a switch up there. I mean, people like running stuff like this heavily into the thing. The thing struggles with raw damage, but you're right. Without the rocket, it's not going to get as much value. 762 early picks there. Kendrick going to turn that around though on 5M. 5M, like you said, on the Punisher are definitely a unique choice for these tournaments. And here we go. 762 committing heavy. Going to try to get some resets. Not able to do so just yet. Back and forth. As we know, Kendrick is doing the same on these clones, just buying time. In the sky, the meteor going to fall on King. Pizza going to drop 762. And yikes. Not a good fight here for the side of Sue Storm as Nightmare did a great job battling that back and still maintaining that ult advantage.
Yeah, I mean, in the neutrals, they do have the shotgun.
Oh my God,
like
Melania is just killing everybody.
That's about it. Like, I don't know. In that fight, it was well played by Nightmare. Good ultimates. Anything could change, but I mean, yeah, now they go to Rocket Raccoon. They swapped over the composition, but guess what? Now there's a minute on the clock, and it's, I guess, a lot worse in domination when you don't have as much time on the clock to make changes. But really, figuring out your comp when your map is on the line, it's not ideal, right?
Yeah. I think this is a case of the momentum situation here. I mean, Nightmare just looks really good, and it's every fight in their favor at this point. If I'm on Sue Storm, I think the issues we're struggling with, oh my goodness, nice early pick there, Melania and Mace. Make that Mace again, Melania again, Luca. The whole team getting swept. You got one more fight here, but the swaps have been a problem. You can't lose charge like that. Overcommitting ults just for the sake of saying, okay, we need to make this change. Finally, we see the rocket coming out. I believe it was a conversation around, let me use use my ult before I switch, but is that going to matter if the ult didn't get any impact? It's a difficult conversation to have, and it's a tough situation to be in. Great take there, as you do see something we talked about in the past tournaments. Melania going to get up on this height without using any cooldowns. If you use that little ramp to the left, you can actually take height, so make sure you understand that for your latter games. You don't need to commit abilities to get to that high ground. Just use that oh my goodness, Melania 2, Kendrick 1, and reset. Kingfan, sorry, excuse me, gonna get the res on 762, Melania on Kingfan, and it is just so much heavily in the favor of Nightmare as they run this through without them allowing to get point one.
I mean, into the blender, man. Into the freaking blender. Nightmare.
Just shows
Sue Storm, unfortunately not going to win this one. Punisher ultimate. Got as much value as we kind of expected. I mean, obviously compositions don't matter like that much. You can kind of make everything work if you put it in the right hands. Nightmare truly living up to the name. In the last map, I mean, Sue Storm looked a lot better with the composition that was about matching. Nightmare now, I don't know, 5M's probably scared, honestly terrified of Millennia. I would be as well, to be honest, as somebody that plays a lot of Hella, when you're against one of those players that is an Hella OTP, absolute sweat lord, basement dweller, living in their mom's house, hitting shots in aim labs every single day. I can go on. I could keep going for too long before, eventually I make everybody bored here. But Millennia is absolutely disgusting. That's the point at the end of the day. And nobody can really match them, not even 5M on Hella.
I do preach, and one thing I want to mention, I do preach that if things aren't working for you, you got to try to change it up a little bit. I do think I like the idea from Sue Storm. If I'm being honest, I just think they didn't switch and commit as a team until the final fight. If you're going to make that change, the team has to do it, and you have to have one alt fight. You have to try to have enough time to fight, at least make some brawls out until you get enough alts to make a play. But unfortunately, it was just like a staggered swapping situation, and they weren't able to find enough value with each individual alt that they would have instead of committing to one fight together. So I just don't think it was executed the way they wanted it to happen. But do you believe in miracles, as they are going to try to hold point one as well?
And on triple Vanguard too, with 762 over to the Venom. Showed that he likes to play a lot of Spider-Man. I guess it is kind of Spider-Man in its own little way, I suppose, the symbiote, right? But triple Vanguard, full hold. We haven't really seen. Well, actually, no, we do see a lot of triple Vanguard spawn camps and stuff on other maps like Spider Island. It could be possible. Not out of the question for Sue Storm just yet.
Yeah, we do see Sentinels, obviously, into the pro team running a lot of triple Vanguard, but 5M, great pick there. And there's that shield that we mentioned, allowing these off angles to be more deadly. Melania, the shield coming in clutch to stop that take, but doesn't matter as Yuko falls early. Melania with this off angle again, dropping back to main to find another pick.
Yeah, just consistently doing damage to these Vanguards now, but the heals are there to keep everybody alive. And Sue Storm has built up that copy first on Emery's side. Didn't get the boundary out in time to save Iffy, so that ultimate removed, or that player removed rather, so the ultimate not there to save him. Now Nightmare have all of the advantages of Portal in desperation hours here for Sue Storm.
Yeah, now it's about just staggering onto the point. Memories able to take on Melania during that fight. Great focus there. Crystals up, tries to escape with the invis, not able to do so. Still gonna hold on as the crystals are buying time. Up in the sky goes Mace. Will it happen? Looking past, and yes, down goes Kingfan. Great range from downtown, and Mace gets returned as Yuko gets that pick. Numbers are still holding on. Will Sue Storm be able to battle through this? It's so back and forth. Staying inside, Baser, well done there in positioning. Great focus, great healing on this play here on the invis. Beautiful work, Melania. Now going to try to find this off angle. Going to get attacked here by the Venom. Venom trying to make a play. 762 on the Venom, showing this 3 Vanguard situation. 5M hitting the skies. Boy, Agamotto goes out too. Hits a lot. And they collapse and get one as Baser falls, and it's evened out by Melania.
Yeah, by the way, Kendrick earlier on the fight swapped over to Venom. Came back on his own Venom, and it's not working out, man. So Sue Storm's holding. 2 minutes to go. Kendrick's on a hero that maybe doesn't play that much. Now back over to Winter Soldier. Things are also getting scrappy for them.
This is an awesome hold, at least. You love to see it. Everything's on the line here. Not a lot left. The team's now going to reset, and they do have ult advantage here with 5M. If they're counting, now's the time. that before Pizza Demon can
Is
get
it better,
that
bro?
copy there.
Let me know, let me know.
You got to try to make a play early, or you wait until you see it pop. But at that point, Ultimates will be back on the side of Nightmare. It's all about these little takes early on, as 5M is just going to put some serious damage into that Guardian Shield. Back and forth here. It is going to pop Luca, doing enough damage to pop that one up. And here, 5M's trying to find this
end
angle.
of them,
There
bro.
goes the stun, and the fight begins as the boundary gets popped, and they got to make sure they touch before this thing gets pushed through.
Yeah, boundary to counter the impact on their side. I mean, I don't know. Nightmare might choke this. I'm not even kidding. They have
bro,
solo
fucking
Vanguard out now. They have Luca on Wolverine. Because, I mean, Wolverine, yeah, theoretically
what are you
counters
doing, bruh?
triple Vanguard.
Yo.
Minute left to go now, dude. Like, you got
Now they decide to
solo
run
Vanguard out here.
Wolverine,
Not a
bro.
lot of
Now they
people to
decide to
work
run
with.
Wolverine, bro.
Storm, triple
I even
Vanguard
noticed this dude
competition
wasn't
walking
banned,
in
bro.
your face
But
right
now
now. They
they
find
decide
another
to run
pick here.
Wolverine.
It
And
might
Luca
be over
and
for
Wolf,
Nightmare. They
bro.
have ultimate. Luca in the main side
they're
does get a
trolling,
last stand off onto who? I don't even know, because everybody's still healthy on Sue Storm's side, and they just back up to the
Storm
car.
might be overextending, bro.
This
They might be
is
overextending,
insane.
bro.
They're doing a great job holding on. There's an early pick there, though. Back on the side of Nightmare. They do have ult advantage.
Dog,
Mace
now
trying to
they
find
decide to
somebody.
run
No
Wolverine,
luck there.
but
The
it's a
copy
fucking
goes
tank
out
player
as
on
they're
it.
still
that's
holding
not good.
memories. Yuko with the Eye of Agamotto could be
let's-
huge
yo,
here.
let's see what
This
Melina
could be
can do, bro.
game-winning. Eye of Agamotto goes
Let's see what
out. Shield
Melina
goes
can
out,
do.
keeping the team up. Luca falls. 7-6-2, bringing this back. Will they be able to hold? This is an insane fight here as Sue Storm is holding with
Yo,
10
Pizza Demon
seconds on the clock.
85% to alt.
10
The
seconds
low
to
key,
go.
bro.
Flank from Millennia. He's got to put a
Oh
team
my,
on his
oh
back.
my
He
god,
goes
he
into the side
couldn't
when
even
he
ult,
to
bro.
stay alive.
He
But
got
doesn't
lucky
have an
to be
angle
able to
necessarily.
ult,
Looking for
bro.
the back line. Crystal's force. Boundary's also here on the front line. Nightmare, they finally have the help pool to work with. They're trying to go forward on a Sue Storm right now, who have nothing to work with.
Oh
and
my
it works
god, they're
out.
lucky,
They get
dude.
it done.
Oh my
At the
god,
very
they're lucky.
last
That's why I can take them seriously, bro.
Oh my
They're trolls, bro.
goodness.
Goofy
I will
goobers,
be
bro.
honest, that angle there
They're
from
goofy
Melina popping that
goobers,
ult
bro.
to stay
It
in the
takes all
fight
that time
and
to
still
switch
hitting
to
shots on the
fucking
back end was
Wolverine, bro.
potentially what
And they
won
don't
that.
have a
There
real
was an
Wolverine
ult there
player.
by
They have to
Luca.
put
We didn't
one
get
of
to
the
see,
tanks
but
on
it looked like
Wolf,
it got
bro.
some value as well.
That shit
All
is
they needed to do was
crazy,
drive them
bro.
off the point.
Nah, bro. I can't
the
root for
point.
these dudes, bro. They're not thinking, bro. Oh, shit. No, dude. This dude is trolling, man. Yo, Duke, let me know. Let me know about this sound, bro. Let me know about this sound. If you can hear me better.
Like, all of these signed teams going to the wire
Holy
with
fuck,
unsigned
dude.
rosters who are trying to make a name for themselves, obviously very hungry. And the decision making, I feel like, is worse than last week. In the Invitational, we saw like some pretty clean swaps back and forth. Maybe like the fact that these teams are all like unknowns, maybe that's a factor of it as well. But you know, a lot of decision making right now, I'm not really, you know,
Yeah,
sure
they're
about
doing
with
some
the side of Nightmare swapping
questionable
over,
stuff,
you know,
bro.
having Luca play the Wolverine. I mean, I get it, but
Why is
it's
Luca on
not worked out in
Wolverine,
the
bro?
past, and we don't usually see
Luca and
solo
Wolverine on
Vanguard, or
Mace
sorry,
has
yeah,
never
solo
worked for
Vanguard triple
Nightmare, bro.
duelist. It's not that common.
Never.
Yeah, honestly, I'm a little surprised by this as well. That was a crazy battle, but I mean, if you look at the stat lines here and you look over at Sue Storm, it's just odd to me they were able to contend for so long. Virtually everyone roughly even in terms of KOs versus times getting KO'd. Damage-wise, numbers are looking all right, but if you look over at Nightmare, it just looks like they just ran the game, but you would have no idea how close that was unless you had eyes on. It just seems like when it comes to those clutch moments, they struggle a little bit to just get the job done, whereas we've seen some teams in the past always shine and show up for those OT moments. They did do so at the very end there, but it was looking dicey, and
was way too
it was a
close
toss-up
against
for me in the
this
moment of how that was going to shake out. Before we talk more about
Way
this
too
and get into some
fucking
more
close.
games, Nightmare moving on, obviously, we do have a highlight for you guys.
There's no fucking light. It's fucking black. There's a black. It's fucking black. Yeah, I know I'm doing a fucking thumbnail for my next vid. I don't know. Is this?
Remember the dust, the lights gripping tightly, trapping all those fighting souls, but yet across the world I see you standing in my way. dagger. We are hope and fear.
Bye, yo mama Coco. Bye, yo mama Coco.
Lights out.
No. Bye, mama.
Score one for Ty.
A boom of life. My time to shine.
Suffer in the darkness.
Co-op time. Us against the world.
Why is he?
Random table. Sweet.
Widow standing by.
I'm just doing some editing right quick. Intermission and shit, so I'm just chilling right now.
The Widow's bite is lethal. Hit them till they don't get up.
Sentinels. I think this might be controversial. I really think this is gonna be controversial, bro. But I think I'm gonna have to do it. I think they're mid.
No way to miss now.
I'm just gonna say it. I just think they're mid. So we'll start with one high teas. This is just a fucking MRI, bro. Literally undefeated the entire tournament.
Widow style.
No Sentinels. No Sentinels. I think this might be controversial. I really think this is gonna be controversial, bro. But I think I'm gonna have to do it. I think they're mid. I'm just gonna say it. I just think they're mid. So we'll start with one. No Sentinels. I think this might be No Sentinels. I think this might be controversial. I really think this is gonna be controversial, bro. But I think I'm gonna have to do it. I think they're mid. I'm just gonna say it. I just think they're mid. No.
Powering up. Maximum pulse.
I think controversial. I think no set.
The moon haunts you. Say good night.
Spoiler.
Tremble before
Before the
fast.
bust.
Welcome back, everyone, as we just finished up another banger series. Nightmare takes that home 2-0 out of Sue Storm, but in that end, Sue Storm looked really good with that triple Vanguard. What'd you think?
Oh man, yeah, they looked really good towards the very end. Sue Storm, shout out to the whole team. You know, I think, I mean, that was the lower bracket, right? So we've just seen two lower bracket matchups. Both teams that lost
No
are going
Sentinels.
home out of
I
the
think this
MRC.
might be
It's been a
controversial.
a
I
few
really
weeks,
think this is going to be
obviously.
controversial,
They
bro.
were not on
But I
broadcast,
think I'm going to have to do it. I think they're mid.
Be there for the last second to make a name for themselves. They definitely did today.
Yeah, and now we're making our way up to the top side bracket as we have 100 Thieves
Ooh, what the fuck
Esports,
they're
a team
playing?
that just took home
Oh,
the
hell no.
MRI,
You already
a
know how
big
the
W
fuck
there,
this
getting
is
some serious
gonna end,
cash.
bro.
against Polymath, the team we
Yeah, no,
haven't
this
had
is
much
gonna end,
experience
bro. What
with.
the fuck?
Maybe
This
you
is not
in
fair.
the chat have had some experience with
This
these
is not
players,
fair,
but we do
no
see that
balance.
Wolverine off, which I am not surprised to see that, knowing how strong
Ooh,
Terra is with that Wolverine.
Oh, that's crazy.
I think I've seen Doomsday in ranked and Exorcism, but
Sentinels
maybe
and
Wizard Dread as
Shikigami.
well.
Oh my
These few guys,
busted nut.
but like in the pro
fuck.
scene, these guys are making
Ooh, they're
their
Bucky
first
players,
appearance
aren't they?
for an official broadcast.
They're Bucky
Wolverine ban is
Punishers type
interesting.
type
Adam Warlock banned on the side for 100 Thieves. They don't want to play against that triple strategist composition. And Chip, we were talking about this during the break. It's interesting how in the lower brackets, a lot of teams have already been knocked down early, even ones that we expect to win the whole tournament. So right now, I think it truly is the best parity we've seen for Marvel Rivals. 100 Thieves can get taken down by anybody at any instance, and maybe Polymath is that team.
I gotta take a shit, man.
Yeah, this is where we get into
Put
the,
that shit
you
on
know,
for
they,
y'all.
a lot of these teams at the top level scrim each other, so they maybe understand play styles. Obviously, there's some hidden secrets and stuff, but when you get into these tournaments, in-game, in-house tournaments with these teams that maybe you haven't seen running something more unique, as we see, at least so far, running the Bucky and Punisher combination, maybe the Rocket will be seen here. You know, I mean, obviously that could change as we get into game, but stuff like that, just changing up the meta and forcing you, knowing that they might pick Groot, for example, and just wall busting, that kind of change in play style can force a team to struggle, and maybe we see them take over 100 Thieves here.
Yeah, that's a great point you bring up, Shib, and we can go back to it, right? I think that you're right. You can't play counter meta, right? There's this obviously favorite compositions, right? There's the quote unquote best compositions, but I think there's a YouTuber I watch called Wolfie. He talks about how there's like a really good meta. If there's a really good composition you play, there might be a counter meta that people try to figure out, right? Because there's so many teams playing a certain play style. If you figure out that one composition that breaks the quote-unquote meta, then you set yourselves up for success and could win the whole tournament.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. Just understanding meta and then strictly countering it is definitely a strategy. And, maybe we do see that here. I mean, they are maintaining that run of, the double, double pistol boys or gun boys, I guess, if you will, with Doomsday going to be on the Punisher. And we will see not an uncommon pick of the Bucky on I got to say this properly, Teleopsia? This is my best guess so far, but as we get into this first fight, we will be taking early Wizard, going to walk it right down main instead of that off angle that we've seen from the first two teams.
Yeah, and without the Rocket Raccoon, no team up for both of these guys. It's very interesting to see them try to play it. Early turret with the portal on the flank. 100 Thieves, maybe not expecting it. Also high up. Meanwhile, TTK got picked on the low ground. This turret is absolutely in an odd spot, and it's kind of panned out.
I absolutely love that play. I always tell teams to do that on Yggdrasil, but seeing it on this map, that's some big brain. Great early play there, but Harvey going to turn that right around and even these numbers a little bit. And here comes the portal just to try to get them back to point. Numbers still going to be even, but now back in 100 Thieves' favor as they find this off angle. Good portal there to allow the team to come back if need be, but they won't have it again for the retake. TTK, one of the few, if not one of the only at this level controller players, an absolute demon on the sticks. Going to find that early value as Polly's going to have to retake together.
Paper going to come back onto that thing instead of Doctor Strange giving up the ult charge, a little bit of extra ult charge in favor of playing with that. Stratus Ultimate's all coming up. Delana's still sitting on this off angle as well. 100 Thieves. Going to be daunting to go against this. You might have to pop a Stratus Ultimate early just not to get picked, and oh no, they get picked again without even committing a single Stratus Ultimate. Now they commit the Luna Snow Ultimate. The Whale came through in the backside from Terra with no success, but at least you've already forced out that Stratus Ult.
Yeah, now we're going to see the battle of the strats. Great strangling prison there. Will it find value? Not enough just yet. Wizard hits the sky looking for a dunk on one of the back line. Does find one. That's a great pick. Well, ult is out as Wizard is going to take out Harvey very early. And the numbers back in their favor. Delana, though, on the Hella. An absolute mean, if not one of the best Hellas in the game. Terra going to find Doomsday. Rarely do we see Terra on the Namor there. Great work as CTK cleans up the rest.
Yeah, both Namor and Hella going through in the ban protect phase, both being played here for 100 Thieves. Seen as probably the best two duelists in the entire game. Polymath obviously with Bucky, maybe top three on their side. The Punisher maybe the outlier in this case. Also, could see a little bit of a lax from 100 Thieves. Didn't combine that Strangling Prison with the Luna Snow damage boost alongside Terra's Whale. That could cost them in the subsequent fight. Polymath comes through with his punishing ultimate.
And we are going to see both sides. Nice pick there. Teleopsia going to drop Vinny. Get that early drop. Just going to have a reset as we do see some follow-up from Doomsday there. And they are going to get enough. Oh, my goodness. I thought at least. Yeah, they're still holding. This is still back and forth. The Eye of Agamotto gets popped. Will they find a pick to even it out? TTK, it's not over yet for them. Hey, Paper going to find both strategists here. And yes, Polymath going to get point one.
Punisher Ultimate actually worked out. I mean, 100 Thieves got melted on the front line. No Strategist Ultimates because they got used in the previous ones. So you can't really, you know, relax, it feels like, in the MRC, right? Even a top team like 100 Thieves could fall to a team like Polymath with Ultimates. And Wizard Dread, again, pick off on Dilemma, trying to set up an early flank. Does not pan out this time.
Yeah, Telopsia and Doomsday on that combination is kind of unique. You rarely see a Punisher trying to reset your Bucky on focus, but that's not a bad idea. We've seen a lot of these combinations with the two, or at least with Bucky, some unique combinations today, even with Venom. But yeah, okay, good work here by Doomsday on this hit scan, showcasing the power of Punisher in the right hands, and still buying some early picks. Now on to Terra. Great shield there, Guardian Shield, allowing this 1v1 to be a little more of a 2v1. Terra trying to hold this off angle, seeing if they can still hold on. I don't know how they still are. Wow,
Wait.
What a turn there by Delena.
He also threw out the whale. Terra also, these guys are showing no respect to Polymath. I mean, Terra almost losing the one, chucks out the whale, needs help from Delena. Flopper in time on the front line, forces out that Lunas no ultimate. Vinny's here at the trailing prison.
Wow, good job there by Vinny on the early pick. They are trying to run this anti-group comp, but is it enough as Vinny gets 200 Thieves still holding on strong. 100 Thieves just been an absolute force to deal with, and they're showcasing why as everybody's having a moment here. Selena with a great right click to find some value onto a strategist line. Good off angle, cutting down. Ooh, I like that play there, getting a little bit of a shutdown, just finding a way to get ahead of them onto the back line and chasing focus. Doomsday not able to hide as Selena is going to find another.
Too aware right now. Polymath back to the spawn, has to come back into this fight. Wizard, unfortunately, you probably don't want to see that Meteor M committed, considering they were already in a lost team fight. Now 100 Thieves set themselves up in the main side, have their own Meteor M to counter Doomsday. They're going to try to break the Meteor fast, though, to make sure he doesn't get it off fast. Oh, no! Teleopsio goes down to Terra. Hopefully I'm saying that right, too, but Terra immediately finding that opening KO. Gonna just walk forward now with a huge edge.
Harvey just holding on to this barrier until necessary. No reason to pop it early as we do find another pick. Harvey does a great job matching DPS with the healing, showing how strong Invis can be in the right hands just on damage alone and getting a lot of those final hits. We see that a lot from Harvey, which we don't necessarily see from every single Invis player, playing a little more frontline than he would, as we do see a teleport coming out, potentially trying to land a stun. I was going to see if we saw the downtown stun there for Delena, but no. There goes the teleport as the team's relocating on the high ground, trying to play around this angle. Doomsday gonna dodge the whale by staying in here, and they're gonna follow up with the Luna. Will we see the turret come out as we hear everything being popped to the side of Polymath up in the sky? Oh, TTK right down into Doomsday. A great counter into the Punisher.
Yeah, too easy to block it. Also, the Namor in the sky, body blocking for that Meteor M. Meanwhile, Delena, flank of a lifetime. Vinny over the back. Delena, sure, you're going to go down, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, everything on the front line was found in success. Vinny's strangling prison. And Doomsday, yeah, got shut out, unfortunately. If TTK is ready to go with that Meteor M, he just knows exactly where we're going to be. Even if you try to break the Meteor M, TTK can just throw it right on your face. Nobody was there to support. Doomsday, unfortunately, shuts out that ultimate so much. All of the eggs in that basket of Doomsday. And, you know, obviously, Polymath now 4 seconds left. They can touch with the Venom last second, but it's dicey.
And here we start the next fight. Early pick there by Wizard, who immediately is going to get picked right back by SJP. Paper going to find Terra back in the odds of Polymath here. And we will see an Eye of Agamotto just trying to buy the time until they can find an angle. Great drop back here by 100 Thieves, who are just knowing that they've got the space, they've got the time, they don't need to panic. It's all about the next fight. But Polymath does have ult advantage with this Eye, ready to have a few more too. TTK and SJP very close as well, so we do have the dance floor now on the side of SJP. Here comes the Meteor M. Will it land? No, it does not. Great positioning there by Zersim as they are just holding this off angle. TTK on Telopsia. Doomsday on Delena inside the turret, but they don't hold on to the point.
Yeah, too tough to hold the objective versus all the ultimates of 100 Thieves. And once that Winter Soldier falls, the Punisher just did not have the throughput to consistently pump out damage onto the cart. And, yeah, I mean, unfortunately for Telopsia, I mean, just got picked a few too many times. 100 Thieves doing a good job playing around the point, playing around the cart. I just feel like 100 Thieves may be playing with their food a little bit right now. It seems to be a bit scrappy, a bit messy. You know, maybe not fully giving the credit for Polymath being a good team as well, considering they're also running something we usually don't see, especially with Namor and Hela both getting through in the ban protect phase and the Groot. So they're really like, we screw what is the quote unquote meta. We're just gonna play comfort picks basically at this point.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe it is a little bit of a trying to test something out, right, against a good team. You don't really get to practice. You want to practice against the best, to be the best. So they're knowing they're in the upside bracket, knowing they're so confident on these heroes, and maybe trying something else out. But one thing I think we should touch on here in Polymath, and I personally like to see it, the Punisher out there, right? But I do find, especially with Magneto being where Magneto is, the shutdown potential and how much you feed that Meteor M on Punisher Ultimate is very terrifying. You elect to either not fire at all and not charge the meteor and just stand there awaiting the meteor, or you choose to try to burst it, but at that point it makes the meteor far more dangerous to your entire team. So that is why the conversation of Punisher versus Bucky, a lot of the times it's a Bucky win, at least from what we've seen at this level. But I do still like to see Doomsday finding some success here on the Punisher.
A great point to bring up, Shib. I think that, like, playing different compositions versus 100 Thieves and versus these top teams, it's like giving them a quiz, right, on how to play your character, because you have to play so differently depending on which character you're against. And obviously, like you said, with Punisher Ultimate, you have to get rid of that Meteor M so quickly compared to maybe another composition where they're not trying to shoot that Meteor M. So right now, 100 Thieves kind of passing the test. We'll see if they can keep it up on this first point attack.
Great angle there. Paper with a nice early pick on Delena. No res going to be there as Paper's just going to dive that backline. But you know how scary the backline of 100 Thieves can be. Vinny falls, though. Talopsia doing a great job here on defense, and they are going to drive the whole team back.
I think Delena, because Delena just like walked forward like a bot almost, was looking for the shield from Harvey, maybe expecting it to come through, or at least his team to collapse on him. He just walked in a straight line. 100 Thieves already a minute off the clock for them. Also not close to too many ultimates. Have that Meteor M, have the boundary coming up, so we will see huge support ults, huge ultimates in general in this upcoming fight, which 100 Thieves have shown to be very good at competing in.
Yeah, and here comes the early aggression. Great pop there. You can see their focus is on those walls. Get those walls out of there. We are going to see the immediate pop. No counter there by TTK. Not seeing it as too much of a threat yet. Terra on the offside angle, taking out Talopsia early on. That could be enough for them to press and take this space. We do see double boundaries there by Invis. Nice pop there by Delena onto Doomsday. Delena getting a ton of value on these off angles. Great stun, hitting 3 with it. But there goes the double ult to buy time on the side of Polymath. Will they find a dunk? No, they will not. TTK, great focus there, holding on to that shield to the last possible second. Vinny, got to get a huge ultimate. Find 2 with the strangling prison, but don't just make that 1. Not able to get the second. And here comes the eye to counter back. Dunking on everybody else. The shield goes out to protect. Not going to get value. Instead, is going to fall. Paper taking out SJP. So back and forth as Delena drops Doomsday. And another Delena onto Paper. Just absolutely popping off here for the side of 100 Thieves.
And that's the tough part for Polymath. I mean, they have a... Did they use Portal already? I mean, it looks like they did, so they're not going to get that touch. But, like, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Wizard committing the Meteor M early. Delena still had his Hela ultimate ready to go till afterwards. So, because of Wizard popping the ultimate, like you said, they needed to do it just to maintain some presence on the point. But it cost them in the long term. Delena's ultimate just lands flush, able to get 2 eliminations onto Polymath towards the objective.
Little technical issue there as we press forward. We do see TTK owning this space. It does have ultimate up. You love to see the sticks, the left and right click on the thumbsticks for the ultimate. What a unique look here on the screen with the UI. We are pressing in again. Paper going to be dropping 100 Thieves as Terra goes down. Paper, you mentioned there holding on to the teleport. I'm not sure if the teleport went through, but it may have been a discussion around we just need to hold this second point, and I'd rather have TP up in case anything goes wrong in these early fights as a group to retouch instead of trying to touch on point 1. So maybe that was their thought process. I'm not sure. It might be on cooldown. We'll look when we get eyes on Paper here. TTK gonna keep this pressure forward. Does have this meteor ready. Punisher out of turret now. Shoving Paper back into the team. Great positioning there by TTK and Vinny with a follow-up.
Yeah, here comes the Punisher ultimate from Doomsday. The Judge, Jury, Executioner, unfortunately met by the invisible boundary. And also the Squids of Terra. They're all over the top side. Doomsday's ultimate finds no effect whatsoever. And they're trying to just send back to spawn. You're missing both Duelists, and Doomsday Swaps over to the Groot. Everybody else is going to fall on this side. Delena just not missing, hitting some incredible shots. Teleport comes back. They do have it now. Cooldown's committed as well to high ground. I mean, they're getting staggered. This is brutal walking out of the portal like that.
That's where you maybe want to hold on to the portal until the rest of the team falls there. They try to get dropped early and you retake as a squad. Unfortunately, not a lot of strategists there in the moment to keep the team up. Vanguard's just a little bit of a decision-making error maybe, as they might get this thing pushed all the way through before they're able to touch. We'll see here. One last fight. Looks like the touch does come through. Well done there by Wizard, who was able to get the ult off and stay at full HP. And the Strangling Prison is out. They're trying to follow up. Groot going to be matched now on both sides. Down go 3. Make that 4, 5, 6 as 100 Thieves win the first map.
Kind of expected to a degree. On the other side, you know, obviously they put up a good fight, but 100 Thieves team, that's it's kind of the one to beat right now. You know, in this current meta, they seem to have things figured out. 100 Thieves constantly put pressure, whether it be TTK, whether it be their duelists on the perma flank. So they know how to play the compositions. They know how to play Marvel Rivals, in which the best way to do so right now is just to have those duelists hard flank and get those eliminations early. And, you know, pray your team can kind of match you on the other side. Meanwhile, TTK, MVP on the Magneto, able to put out so much pressure, so much damage, and to connect on every single Meteor M and save him for the right times. He did a great job.
Yeah, I mean, just the story we're used to seeing here by 100 Thieves. 12 final hits from TTK, topping the final hit charts on a Magneto. See, that's that conversation we mentioned around having a Punisher into Magneto. Magneto's meteors become so much more scary, even with turret up or anything along those lines. Just the raw damage he receives during those moments, allowing for a lot more final hits on the meteors. But then just, you know, Punisher has a big body. His hitbox is relatively large, and I know the pros mentioned that, you know, where Bucky gets that over health every ability, Punisher just kind of soaks a lot of that damage. Unless you get a hard pocket, it's just much more difficult to find success with at this level of play, and 100 Thieves really showcase how strong they can be right there.
Yeah, we'll see in the next map how 100 Thieves do, if they can close out 2-0. Obviously, Polymath's still in it, so we're going to have to see after these highlights, then come back for that number 2.
Trapping all those fighting souls, but yet across the world I see you standing in my way. And remember the time.
say fireworks. Powering up. Maximum pulse.
The moon haunts you. Say good night. Tremble before fast!
Welcome back, everyone, as we just witnessed 100 Thieves doing what 100 Thieves does. An incredible display, an incredible performance. Allowing that Groot through may have been a mistake. What'd you think, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to take away from that. It's like you mentioned, don't give Vinny the Groot. You know, it's a pretty easy, maybe easier said than done, considering you're trying to make a lot of changes on the fly. You know, commit a lot of interesting decisions, I suppose, in the ban protect phase. But you know, a lot of teams, this is gonna be their first time playing against 100 Thieves, and from we've seen from so far in the Invitational and the history of 100 Thieves in Marvel Rivals is that they're very good at that composition. We'll see if Polymath changes it up here.
Yeah, I think the issue was 100 Thieves banned out the rocket, which I have no doubt in my mind that Poly really wanted to run, right? Like, I mean, it fits their comp so well. So I think getting rid of that rocket and just enabling Vinny to say, hey, man, just go ham on the group. Do what you do with Groot, and you won't have much problem. And it really did work out for them. 28-3 on Vinny's side, 23k damage, 10 final hits. Not even talking about Delena or TTK also providing a ton. Did see a ton of damage there from the Punisher, though, with about 20k on Poly, which, you know, isn't a bad job, especially with Punisher being not as seen as a lot of these heroes.
No, I mean, but that also goes back to, I mean, obviously I don't want to counterpoint you or anything shit, but it's just like, yeah, I guess with Punisher, you know, it's like that character always does high damage, even in losses, right? Now the Rocket Raccoon comes through ship, so, you know, that damage can be potentially lethal on their side, so they're going to take advantage of that upcoming, but, you know, who knows what 100 Thieves want to ban here coming up.
Yeah, I think this is going to pan a lot better for them, and maybe they wanted the challenge. I don't know, because they obviously know that this comp is something they're most comfortable with. 100 Thieves is just saying, hey, whatever, just go for it, you know? And they are going to get rid of that Hela, which did find a ton of value. Obviously, Delena on the Hela, terrifying. Just you know, we could mention everybody on 100 Thieves a billion times, but we are seeing some changes up in the composition. I do think this, you think this is going to go through? You think they're going to run this?
Hey, they might. I mean, they might. It's been changed. It's been buffed. The Human Torch is definitely alive and well. Team up with Storm as well, or just to have that combo with their ultimate is pretty hard to deal with. I mean, 100 Thieves, they don't have the Hela on Delena to be able to shut down those Sky heroes. This could work out for side of Polymath.
I mean, you know me, I love seeing variety, and this is a fun comp to watch. I do think Torch has been in a better state even prior to the changes. The changes definitely helping him a lot. Just getting that ult a little bit quicker, does have a little more damage, or in terms of the speed of his auto, it is a little faster, does have a couple more spread pellets as well. So can be a threat, you know, does have a lot of burst too if he lands on a couple of those fireballs on the ground. So I am excited to see the Fire Tornado come through with Storm. So let's see if they actually pull. Oh no, they are running it on attack.
Yeah, I mean, this is the map too to do it on. I mean, I told you how I watched some FlyQuest scrims like 2 weeks ago, and they played this composition sometimes whenever Hela wasn't played. And, you know, now you don't have to worry about that character, but you still have to worry about your front line being kidnapped by Terra on Wolverine.
Yeah, gonna take out some of the value there of the Wolves, but now, you know, it gives no question where the Wolves looking at your front line and nowhere else at all times. So, you know, it's a negative, but it's also a positive at the same time for Wolverine. No distractions, but that raw damage from the sky can be scary. Also, Torch just putting down those large AoEs, burn damage everywhere, just constantly getting that ult up. They're gonna run heavily into trying to make that happen, as Harvey won't be having a strategist counter ult. It's just gonna be on SJP here on the dance floor with the fate of both worlds.
And Delena found early, has to get brought back into the fight. Also, you have to play around these giant flame pillars that are on the outside. So nice kidnap from Terra again to bring back that Magneto in this fight. No eliminations found just yet for 100 Thieves. They pop the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier, but nobody's going down necessarily for Polymath. They're doing a good job kiting. Doomsday falls so low, TTK. Nice job from the Magneto. Both Magneto players kind of becoming the main focal point of these team fights, but Terra takes advantage of Wizard Dread caught out on the high ground.
Yeah, really well done there by Terra. We know how strong this Wolverine can be. As I say that, he misses the jump. A little bit of a meme situation there. Back up, though. He goes. But yeah, Terra on this Wolverine is nightmare fuel for any other team. Just an absolute demon. TTK going to initiate here, trying to cancel some of these throws. Not going to find value. Paper going to block that. The Hurricane is out. A ton of space as they drop TTK early. And here comes the fate of both worlds to buy some time. Paper is going to be fueled here by the... Oh, it does not land with the Rocket Ult. I thought it was going to work out with the Rocket Ult. Do a little more damage. Not able to do so, but nobody falls there from the last stand on the Wolverine as well, as a lot of this is back and forth.
Yeah, BRB is also available for Polymath. They're just trying to go aggressive, but incoming Strangling Prison, Cosmic Yarn, everybody falls. Doesn't matter how flashy your ultimate combination looks for Polymath's side. It's Vinny with the Strangling Prison, who's been consistent so far in the series.
Yeah, it's unique here by 100 Thieves. Obviously, Rocket has been seen more in the meta than, you know, people would expect. I mean, does enable the Bucky Punisher, but you don't necessarily need, as you see here, the combination of that Yarn with something like the Whale or the Meteor M is just, it's enough to make teams fall over. But a great early pick there on Doomsday. Once again, TTK just making things happen, looking up into the sky, and just doing enough work to shut down these Flyers almost by himself. Just a threat to them at all times as their HP keeps dropping. So does his.
Well, yeah, the difficulty too is each amount, like damage they do to TTK, each bullet gives the backline, the strategist, those ultimates. So SJP will have the fate of both worlds for the combination that is Teleopsia and Doomsday. Maybe try to go for it this fight, but it's a lot committed. Delena maybe caught out on the flank. BRB, is it close enough to bring him back? I think it is. So he'll be back in the fight, but on the front line, Wizard Dread's already gone, and here comes the combination. Supernova and the Storm in the skybox, but does it find an elimination? Yes, it does, but it's traded by Delena.
Delena, raw damage there after the Meteor M. Burst through that overhealth. A lot of space driven up in the sky. Goes another Meteor M. Not able to find any purchase there. Harvey gonna find an early KO onto Teleopsia. Delena onto Paper. And man, 100 Thieves, despite the composition they're going into or who they're picking, is just making things happen. And you love to see the Raccoon being a little more aggressive there and getting a pick as well.
Yeah, you'd love to see it indeed. Polymath, 14 seconds left to go to make things happen. They've switched up their compositions to that triple Vanguard. Wasn't working, unfortunately, with the Human Torch and the Storm. Sue Storm, unfortunately, a team that already played. That's not you guys today. Polymath now tries to walk into Terra's ultimate. Last stand used, met by Exorcism with the fate of both worlds.
And here comes the tackle there by Terra again. Trying to find some value. Down goes Doomsday. Really tough to play Groot into a great Wolverine. Just getting absolutely healed up. Well done there by the strategist. And here comes the Whale switching to damage. And down goes Exorcism, Wizard, Jake, Hey, and everybody falling. Teleopsia as well as 100 Thieves holds them on point one.
Yeah, the portaling. Nope. Not going to make it there in time. Good hold by 100 Thieves indeed. I like the attempt to try to play the Storm and the Human Torch, but yeah, not exactly the best versus a team as practiced as 100 Thieves. They've seen it, I'm sure, in practice. Polymath, you know, going to the defense. We've seen teams full held, right? We've had some crazy upsets so far, and there's a potential for that to happen again, but I don't know. Something tells me Human Torch probably still ain't it, Mr. Ship.
Yeah, I'm going to have to join you on that. I do like the direction they're taking him. And yes, of course, in ladder, you're going to see some of those Human Torches that are absolute demons, but at this level of play, they just know the limitations and they're willing to exploit those limitations. They did a great job there, even with TTK here on the Magneto, just doing so much damage to those flyers, soaking a ton of damage, getting SJP ready to pop the Fate to cancel both those ultimates out. It just was not quite working for them, but I did really like the idea there, as we are still going to see Doomsday on the Storm.
Yeah, I mean, Storm has some viability whenever Hela isn't played, like we talked about earlier, but, you know, it's the unfortunate part with Storm is that she's just too easy to eliminate whenever she goes in with the ult, right? Her damage comparatively to her health pool is not high enough, right? Whenever she, I mean, I know she was playing a lot in Europe and stuff, but right now a lot of the great North American teams can deal with Storm whenever she comes in just through healing each other on the strategists and then also just honestly just shooting at the Storm. So it's just kind of a distraction, maybe a way to force out strategist ultimates, but at the moment that's been about it. And Wizard Den, oh, that's a brutal pickoff, man.
Yeah, that was gorgeous communication. SJP with the immediate freeze after the tackle there. So well done. Wolverine's Feral Leap, if you get hit with that and you're not directly in eyes line of your strategist, you might as well say goodbye in the air. Great work there again. Terra gonna get tackled back though. So it's a little bit of a trade-off. I don't think passive was popped. I don't believe. No, it wasn't on the side of Terra, but the idea was there. TTK owning this space. A little switch up in comp here. Paper going to be on the Thing, trying to stop it, but it's just not going to be enough as TTK going to take out Paper immediately into Dooms on the backside, trying to hold some great positioning there, taking the height around those natural cover, but no one able to touch as they just walk that thing through.
Yeah, 100 Thieves sort of just aura farming, as my fellow Gen Zers would say. Okay, that was absolutely cringe. I can't believe that. But the 100 Thieves, they get the job done 2-0, and, you know, MVP, you get Harvey getting the MVP, obviously, in the title stream. But I think TTK, man, I think we both can agree, was just so consistent in Magneto, was really the backbone of 100 Thieves throughout that whole series. So what do you think?
Yeah, just taking space and not allowing duelists to find any value really there. I mean, it just seemed like consistently eyes were on them and he was making them suffer a little bit. They tried to make something happen, got some damage out, but just, you know, you could see just alone, Vinny and TTK damage is on par with the duelist line. You know, goes to show you how strong they could be with Groot and Magneto. I like the idea of a switch. I think we did see, I believe there was a Punisher ban. Yeah, there was a Punisher ban at the end. I think I missed that initially as to why they were switching to the Fire Tornado comp. But, you know, it seems like they're into those combination squads. Maybe they rehearsed with those squads. So changing it up, that team knew that they'd have success against Flyers, and they really didn't have to change that composition at all.
No, yeah, they really didn't indeed. And, you know, 400 Thieves, that means they're going to continue in this upper bracket. And on the other side, we'll be seeing Polymath again in the lowers. So we're going to go to the highlights real fast, and then we'll come back with a fresh new series ready to go.
Trapping all those fighting souls, but yet across the world I see you standing in my way. I remember the time, the place we used to fight, like the sun and moon, and I wonder if ever there was a time that we were friends. The night has fallen and shadows looming, and yes, that time has come for me to seek you out. We are set now for our last reunion. Break the chains, find your way, come find me. Do you remember who you really are? Show me that you are still.
We are Cloak and Dagger. We are hope and fear. Score one for Tandy.
Lights out. Score one for Ty.
A boom shine.
Suffer in the darkness.
Co-op time. Us against the world.
Red table. Sweet.
Widow standing by. Target neutralized. The Widow's bite is lethal. Hit them till they don't get up. You can rest now, Bucky. No way to miss now. Plasma burst! Widow style.
Grab the whip. You met with the amazing Spider-Man.
Anyone say fireworks? Powering up. Maximum pulse.
The moon haunts you. Say good night. Tremble before fast! A 100 Thieves coming in and absolutely dominating, showcasing why they are right now in the conversation and showcasing the #1 team in the game. But opening up the doors, this tournament is allowing new faces, new teams. I love to see these new comps as well.
Oh yeah, but you know what? We're going to a series where we're not seeing necessarily 2 new teams, which is kind of sad. But you know, a lot of new players, I would say, on these rosters, right? A little bit of a difference in terms of Shikigami's roster having Scatter or Genji out there, or Gengi out there alongside Amadian and Ricky, I believe. Was Ricky on Shikigami last time? I'm trying to remember. I remember days, but completely
I saw him on the roster. I'd have to go back to the games. I believe I saw him on the roster. I'd have to go back to the games and double check. But either way, Shikigami towards the end of that tournament looked really good. They were struggling at first, the first 2 days. Day 3, they were popping off, and they really like that Venom. So I will be curious to see, or they were finding success with Venom. So I'm not sure if they're going to keep going with it, but I did see that.
And interesting enough as well, for Sentinels, they got Crimzo in instead of Hogs. So that's another change as well for both teams leading into this tournament. Not sure if, Hogs is on the bench, because Crimzo's usually the coach for Sentinels. So maybe Crimzo feeling confident as Magneto, I imagine, not banned, or his Groot. So You know, that's interesting that the coach is coming in for Sentinels.
You know what? We did talk about when it comes to Sentinels, they didn't love the group comp as much. They were able to make it happen, but a lot of the time they're banning it out. So having this pocket Groot Crimzo coach situation is awesome, in my opinion, to see, as we did have a conversation with him. Really cool guy. You know, give us some insight into how to keep the team's morale up, how to make everyone feel like a team, and you play better when you're having fun. So he did a great job of expressing that to us, and I can't believe we're seeing him in a game right now against Shikigami. I'm excited to see map 1 here as we go into a domination.
And the bans were pretty straightforward, by the way. Just to recap them, we got the Hela, we got the Namor, and we got the Winter Soldier alongside Adam Warlock. So that removes that Guardians comp that you talk about, Shiv, with the triple strategists, with the Mantis, with the Adam Warlock. Because if you're new, obviously watching MRC for the first time, that composition did very well in MRI, running 3 strategists alongside 2 Vanguards and 1 duelist. Was a decent composition, played quite frequently, and then obviously Namor, Hela, and Bucky are all like top 3 duelists in the game. So pretty evenly distributed bans and protects for both teams.
Yeah, I like these comps. A little bit of a change up here. We do see Amadian is going to be on Star-Lord without having, obviously, the rest banned out here. So that is just going to be a strict DPS shift. We have seen a lot of success with Star-Lords in tournaments prior. Crimzo on the Groot, trying to take space early, going to wall off. And here comes that bubble Star-Lord, a very powerful combination to get alt charge really quick. As you look over at the charge, already 40. 7% for the side of Shikigami's with that dive there. I mean, it's just crazy how valuable that bubble spin can be, the spin to win. Down goes Crimzo early from Ricky with some great positioning as Shikigami's looking really good on this first fight.
Yeah, they are looking good. I mean, that was because of Daze. Daze got that kidnap onto Crimzo. The coach came in, immediately went down to that Wolverine, and Shikigami in control of the point. We talked about Shikigami being a dark horse of MRC, and the slingshot right now is activated early on.
I love the Shikigami slingshot from that interview. I think it was Crazemane that we talked to, who was just feeling confident after some shifts in composition and understanding what they were lacking, which, you know, learning as a team and getting excited. That's what you want to see, a team that feels confident and has nothing to lose. And they made some things happen as we have an early tackle here from Daze, trying to find some value, not able to do so. Got to drop back crystals. Gonna be popped as well for Dinks. And we do see the dance floors begin. Fate of Both World on both sides. Kurova and Dinks with a copy here. There's the tackle there. Daze on to Craze. It's very difficult to get out of that, but they do it as we do have another leap available for Daze, but I'm not sure if it's going to get popped up in the sky. Good eat here by Scatter, potentially thinking about dunking it on him, but you know, thought about it and said, no, I'll throw that back at the team. Didn't find any value. Crystals go out, and there goes the dive there immediately. The last stand. Ricky gonna follow up on Crimzo, goes down. Right, amazing falls from Daze. Dinks takes out Aramori. Craze on Kurova. Dinks with 3. Gonna be dropping Kaluge as well. Well done again, Shikigami.
Yeah, incredibly long fight there, but, you know, it seems to me that Shikigami is constantly getting healed up. The lethality is not there for Sentinels. I know I've mentioned that before, but they really need to find those picks somehow, some way, right? Whether it be through Crimzo's Friendly Prison to have the follow-up damage, whatever it may be. Shikigami now, obviously, building up towards ultimates in a neutral game, as are Sentinels on the other side. Right now are sitting in a good spot, using the crystals early and mating over the high ground with the Galactic, trying to get a lot of damage down range, forcing crystals from Sentinels as they're forced to touch the point.
Scatter just maintaining his position. Amadian spin to win. Get that all charge back. A nice KO there onto Rymazing with an early take. This is very much in Shikigami's favor. Amadian again on Crimzo.
Yo, watch out for the Wolverine from Gomez.
When it comes to Shikigami, they're just
only win comp right now. Only win condition.
Super Gomez gonna be dropping Ricky. That's a good early fight as they do lose a strategist. Will they be able to bounce back from this? Sentinels just battling, trying to maintain the position. Super Gomez with a great tackle there. Will they get the pick? Not yet. The dunk though. Bang! Kaluge finds Daze. Daze gonna take out Kurova first. But I do think they're able to maintain this positioning. Kaluge falls. Now it's just a touch.
Crimzo ultimate 10.
I mean, they are. They're holding on. Shikigami.
Yo, the low-key
they have
fucking
members here.
DPS,
They've
bro.
got a Median's ult too. No Strategist ultimate. Strangling Prison's here. It's met by the fate of both worlds, though. Perfectly timed from Ricky.
They don't have
Now
shit.
they just
Yeah,
gonna walk
they just
in,
win this.
and it looks
Kalush
to
is
me
back
like
on
Sentinels are
strange,
about to get
dude.
100 0'd. The portal
Oh, wow.
is not gonna be here from Kalush in
My
time.
sleeper
Hell's
team
Heaven
Shikigami. They better win
looking
this.
pretty
That's my sleeper
one-sided
team,
right
bro.
now on Frozen Airville.
That's my sleeper
Shikigami
team, bro.
has been consistently better every single time we watch them. I love
That's
to
my
see the
sleeper
growth
team, bro.
and the
Sleeper
confidence. They just 100-0'd Sentinels, an incredible team, a team that is very confident.
fucking
Maybe we had
eliminate
discussions
them
that they don't like this
fucking
meta as much
drinking.
as they did prior, but either way, just an incredible team in
Making
their
me
own
act
right.
top.
But Shikigami just very confident in taking that first map, setting the tone a little bit, and close to alt advantage on the very first fight.
Like, they haven't
Yeah,
gotten
Sentinels
the
in the
point
last fight,
once,
losing
bro. They haven't won a
Kuroba
single fight.
at the very last second. They sacrificed themselves.
Bro,
right?
if
Dove into the
Hogs
back,
got
took the meteor
fucking
from
banned, bro,
Kalush to
that's
the
not
face,
good,
but
bro.
It was
Hogs
a little
is
bit too late.
pretty
Kuroba
good,
already
bro.
got bound in Sentinels.
I
That
don't
was the
think
one
the
way they
problem
could come
is
back into
Hogs,
life,
bro.
keeping Kuroba alive, keeping the strategist alive.
Hogs is not a
At
problem,
least to have a little bit of
Sentinels.
sustain because Shikigami's strategist
Is not the
ultimates were
problem.
perfectly timed. Now,
But I think the thought
Scatter
process
Genji
is
still
Hogs
has
is
his
the
ultimate
worst of
meteor
the
ready to
two
go for
tanks,
Amazing, who has
and
his own.
we
He'll
do
be
have a player that can play
totally
tank,
countered
which is
here
our
in the sky
fucking
by
coach.
Scatter Genji, and
So I guess that's
Shikigami
the
now
thought
walking
process
out of
behind this.
spawn with the very
But
similar
Hogs is
composition as they
literally
did
like
before.
is like your third best player, bro.
Yeah, the Jeff was
So I
lasting a
don't know.
little longer than I thought. I thought they actually might run with it because not a horrible Jeff map with the alt positioning, with the off mapping so
There's
close to the
a
point. But
Star-Lord, but
no,
they have
not going to continue to
the
run that.
Manito.
We did see it in the finals from
Oh,
FlyQuest.
Gomez.
But,
Gomez is
I like
looking
not
to
using
firm
it,
off the
obviously,
map.
just using it for
I am
the speed.
telling you,
Super
man.
Gomez trying to get an early
With
tackle
low-key
off that,
dope.
unfortunately not able to do so. Does find the low-key. Dink's able to escape. Good positioning,
menace
good
to
escape.
society.
And the utilization of cooldowns, but that
Bro,
discussion is being
no
had.
one is
Kuroba,
making a move,
very
bro.
strong hit scan
Let's see what's
player,
yo,
especially when
Shikigami
Warlock is on the
needs to
table, but a
fucking
great
ult soon
Luna
at some
in his
point,
own
bro.
right. Just healing everybody right now. The spin to win above
Okay, they
Amadian,
ult first.
taking a ton of advantage. Him and Scatter
Bro.
are on top of that together.
Oh my
the combination
God.
off. Oh my goodness! Gonna drop the meteor rev on virtually the entire team as the rest of the team
No,
is gonna
I
pick
can't even
off.
talk no
And
more.
Dang, Shikigami's looking good.
Both tanks,
I
bro.
don't know what happened to force
Craftsman,
Mori's
Scatter.
crystals
Bro,
out
that's like a
early
six-man
there.
ult,
Shikigami,
bro.
I'm assuming was
And
his base that you
Kalush,
talked about earlier, Shib, getting
he
pick off or something, forcing
shielded
that
too early,
crystals
bro. That's a
onto
common
Crimzo,
mistake
who
from
got
Max,
caught
bro.
out.
Your shield
Raz
lasts like
dunk from Scatter
half
as
a
well,
second,
and that's
bro.
just beautiful
If you
arm,
shield
Mori.
too early, you
Maybe you
will
would
not
like
have
to
it
see
back,
the
bro.
little, like
You're
maybe
gonna
the
push.
crystals need to be held on for a
The
little
Rivals
longer, but it's a
should
tough
have a
situation when
decent
your
ult
crew gets
early.
kidnapped that early, and it happens again.
Yeah, it's
Oh
very
boy, that's gonna be
difficult
big,
to
bro.
understand priority
That's
in these
gonna be big.
moments. Kalush.
Yeah.
Oh, Super Gomez landed a mean
I don't know why they
hitting
fight here,
three,
bro.
Just absolutely threatening when
You
it
know they
comes
have
to
a
that
group,
last
you know they
stand.
have a
Gorgeous
over
play
and we
as they pick
fighting
off
this
in return, the entire team.
Well, there we go.
in
Crimzo
this
friendly prison
fucking
Kalush
choke
there,
like that,
and
bro. I don't
also,
know why
like
we're
you said,
doing
with
this,
Super
guys.
Gomez on the
They
backside.
do use a lot.
Using those three ultimates, it was pretty much perfection out of Sentinels. But this is where we talk about a lot of the top teams, right? It's about avoiding the
Shiki
meteor
has
and
that
it's
on
very
it
hard
in
to do
terms of
so,
work, I
obviously,
think.
when you're in Strangling Prison, but making sure you have cooldowns ready to go after that Strangling Prison's thrown out, because you know what's coming. It's that meteor to the
Yeah,
face,
Daze
and that's a
needs to stick
one-shot
out
for every
the
hero
wall
except,
first.
like, the thing.
Ooh, he
Yeah,
doesn't
I
have
mean, you
passive,
gotta
needs
be
to watch
hoping
out.
that you have that shield ready, but during moments like that, all these cooldowns are being popped. It's all about, can you track them? Can your team keep confidence knowing you have time to make plays? It's very,
Ace is
very
looking for
difficult, and that's why this level of play is so skillful.
Wolverine ults,
a
man.
ton
The
of ults
Wolverine
being
ults,
popped
bro.
here as we see the dance floor on both sides. Aramori gonna copy the fake,
dies.
almost Daze.
That's good.
Try to make a play there, but Amazing, great turn to take out Daze. Amazing, a very strong player, but typically we see
need to help him,
Star-Lord
we need to
being
help him.
run by his counterpart.
No
When it
defensive,
comes
that's
to Super
free,
Gomez,
bro.
Super Gomez feeling confident on that Wolverine. Amadian
Oh, they
gonna
should all
find
die
one.
here.
There's another
Yeah, they all
great
die, bro.
prison
Oh.
there as Amadian follows up. Crazy man
Manito.
popping off here on the group.
The Kalush's ultimate
Kalush
also
ulted,
came
bro.
out,
Get
and
nothing out of
that's
it, bro.
brutal to see if Sentinels.
That's not good at all.
I mean, they threw out the Strangling Prison. They had the strategist
They
to
have
support
they have a
against it as
mag.
well on the side of Shikigami, and like you said,
They
that
should
engage
win
for
this
Madian,
pretty
they came
comfortably.
back. They sort of
Sentinels.
played
If they
to
don't,
Amazing's
it's
aggression, took care of him earlier,
Like Shiki.
as he just went a little bit
Before.
too deep with the shield and the blasters, able to find him, and then Madian came back through with their own Strangling Prison from Craftsman's side. Now they have the Meteor M ready to go in this fight unless Super Gomez
Dog,
goes
they
crazy
need to drop,
again.
bro.
That's
The
up
Wolverine
Shikigami.
is gonna eat 17 here, bro.
Great tackle there by Daze early on. Does force out
Holy
Bubble. It's not
fuck,
gonna be enough.
man.
Daze
This
taking
character
out
is very
two
imbalanced, by the way.
Right there is insanely huge
What
for
the fuck?
Shikigami.
Now they're getting
Looking
staggered,
really
bro.
comfortable on this
Holy
first
fuck.
map or
Holy
second map of the
fuck.
first game scatter.
The mad AoE damage from the right, from the left click.
Craze is gonna get one as well.
Ooh, now they get to charge their ults.
Yeah, we're gonna see an early hold.
Holy fuck, that's pretty much even right now.
They know Super Gomez is back there, but he has his ultimate, so this could be devastating from Super
Bro,
Gomez.
both
if he can be
Wolverines,
cheeky,
bro.
also force
We need some Wolverine
Shikigami to
cams
look
out
in two
here.
different directions. Last fight territory now for Shikigami in this point.
Ult advantage on Sentinels
Yeah,
too. This
Sentinels
is very
does
much
have the
their fight.
advantage,
They
though.
need to make things happen. Good spin
Tries
there,
taking a
really
lot of
well
damage.
done. The focus on the bubble, maybe not there just yet. Here comes the ult, immediately off
Oh
the
my
rip,
god,
right,
Crimson's
amazing, trying
taking
to find
way too
somebody.
much damage.
There comes the dance floor. Fate of both
Yo,
worlds
both,
is out.
ooh,
Super
boy,
Gomez
both,
holding on
yeah,
to this
I
ult,
love this
waiting for
fucking
the
Wolverine
correct
cam.
moment, trying to get a tackle.
Ooh, fuck, Gomez is way
Away.
too clean, bro.
Incredible work there, and another Super Gomez lining it up, trying to get on the groove. Craze Bang is going to get healed up.
Still
Good.
winnable
Fate
for
of both
Shiki.
worlds to counter that right back. Not enough pressure there. Super Gomez tried to make a play, and the initial tackle was insane. And here comes the Meteor M. It does get a
They
pick.
win this, don't they?
Yeah, the Meteor M has a ton of lethality here, especially against... Okay, Dave's got a counter trade-off, by the way, but will get staggered out. Sentinels now control the point, but it does have a lot more damage that you could... Or it'll be easier to get it off, rather, when you're against this composition where they can't really break the Meteor, but you can't help but charging it up. It's this weird sort of dichotomy where you have to deal with Kalush, who can connect on those Meteor
think
M's, and
Shiki has
now
a slight
coming back
advantage
into
for
it.
the
Sentinels
Wolverine
close to
right
Amazing's
now,
ultimate, but on the other side, Daze could connect flush with a huge last stand.
Yeah, I like Sentinels getting their confidence back here. Alt fight, they won it. We needed them to if they were going to take this map back, and they managed to make it happen. A very clutch moment, but Daze now, the last stand is available. You know how valuable that can be.
Oh,
but
Daze can't die here, bro.
Prior to using it,
Can't die here, bro.
necessary pick. Crimzo taking out Craze,
Can't
saying
die
I
here,
am
my boy.
Groot as well, and they are back
Just
up
hold this
99%.
shit.
Sentinels take map 2.
Yeah.
Hell's Heaven, completely interesting. Flipped on their head there for Soldiers, Super Soldier Factory. Now going to Eldritch Monument.
fuck.
Anything is possible for either team, considering how
I mean,
Frozen Airfield
if
was
either
a
team
slow start for
lose,
Sentinels.
I think they go lower
you know,
bracket.
unfortunately for
Parade should just
Shikigami,
upper.
I feel like they just kind of went through. They didn't go
Parade
through
should just
progressions,
upper
right? They ran towards the point. Days getting picked off early was brutal. Sentinels took advantage of the positioning of where Shikigami was set up, and now for Sentinels' side, they've got to feel confident moving forward, understanding that they, on their own take, Shib, it felt like they were like slowly walking up, you know, utilizing cooldowns, sort of taking it step by step, and now, you know, Sentinels worse that round 3.
Yeah, I think they did a great job there. I mean, they had ult advantage obviously in the first fight, but managing to win every subsequent fight after the fact was just a sheer amount of confidence in positioning. They just knew who to prioritize, I guess. That early pick, I think, was game-winning potential, or map-winning, obviously, against Daze there on the side of Shikigami. You know, it's
Gomez
just
on the
tough.
Wolverine is a
Wolverine
fucking
getting
menace,
focused like
bro.
that. You hope you have passive up. Obviously didn't
It's a
in the
fucking
moment.
scary
Got
sight.
absolutely bursted. Great focus, and now Sentinels
scary sight.
looking really good as they are going to be slightly down in ult advantage, but Crimzo's very close. The combination of Crimzo, Super Gomez here with the tackling last stand from the scattering, strangling prison can be very strong, but that initial ultimate here by Amadian could potentially win this first hold.
Yeah, you're gonna have to watch out for that indeed. Daze, meanwhile, the backside tosses Kaluj into his strategist, and Kaluj will go down.
The team that wins the first fight most likely will
earlier
win.
ship cleans up
The
how
rounds,
Shikigami takes the first round,
really
takes the first
big.
point.
Really,
And that was just a great engage. Daze was the last stand. That's what you want to see too, because in the previous round, Daze was not able to get the same value ship. It just felt like on that last one, he was kind of shut out compared
Sentinels
to
has
that first
slight-
round. Now on defense,
slightly
they've got
good advantage,
Kraz's ult, they've
slight.
got that combo. Sentinels, how do you avoid getting one shot by that
In terms of ults.
Meteor M alongside Strangling Prison?
Yeah, they made the play
Daze is
properly.
dead.
It goes down. Ooh, nice
Yo,
pick
Gomez
there on the
is
Daze
so
Crimzo.
good,
Good
bro.
work there and good tackle off
That
rip.
Wolverine.
We'll go back to our discussion in a moment after we continue with this fight as Crimzo holding on to the strangling
Oh
prison.
my
I
God.
knew that was coming.
Oh my
Great
God,
wall there
bro.
by Craze to stop the
Holy
strangling.
fuck.
Knew that there was going to be a moment.
Oh my God,
As
bro.
Scatter takes out Aramori.
That's just a good gap,
oh
my boy.
Goodness, that is a tough look. Shikigami, great plays back to back. Up in the
Okay.
sky. Kalush tries to even it back as Dinks
Winnable,
goes down.
winnable for
Who's
both
going to
teams.
take this point in the end? It
Ooh,
is so
he has
back
no-
and
ooh,
forth.
that's Gomez.
Super Gomez holding
Holy
on to this all.
fuck,
Bang. Oh my gosh. Shikigami falls and Sentinels
Yo,
are looking
Dinks,
like they're going
no
to take this
ult?
point at the end.
Yeah, it looks like
Oh
they
my
are.
God, Kuroba
Ricky's
is a
able to take down
one-shot.
Kaluj at the very least, but yeah, at this point, might as well
I don't know
reset
how they
some
lose
of the
this, my
forward.
boy. They literally
Daggers
killed
now
2
come
people
through
in the
onto
fucking
Ricky.
Ricky,
Eventually
What
will
the
fall.
fuck? How do we lose this shit?
Now, you know, but that was definitely dicey.
I don't know
You
what
said
happened
that
to the
wall
low-key.
came out, like, Crimzo yeets that out. That's not
What
what you
the
like
fuck
to see.
happened
Not,
there?
maybe not supporting the narrative. Crimzo coach getting subbed in.
It's the difficulty with Groot. Groot, you know, you think that all gets launched immediately, but there is like this slight animation of him winding back and throwing it, and it almost takes like a second. So just starting that animation, saw that there was going to be a window to throw it. He just tossed that wall up, and just out of sheer intuition,
Star-Lord better get a
landed.
fucking defensive wall
That
out.
was fight winning, but unfortunately not enough to give him everything. They did have to commit all the rest of their ults, but they took over point 33% to 60. Popping
Gomez
everything.
is
That was
starting
Armori
shit fast as fuck.
amazing.
No, Dace has ult.
Armori gonna be
Dace
dancing
needs
to
to
the
go
Venomous
fast.
Balls, amazing with the cosmic
Gonna advantage
legend,
soon.
Galactic
Gomez.
Legend, excuse me.
Dead.
Popping off Crazeman, gonna take out Gomez though. Does have the own prison.
Now you have,
Will this person be launched?
you have the advantage, guys.
Not yet.
Do not
So,
invest
yeah,
too
they
much.
don't need it necessarily. Just
No
getting
need to
cleanup
use
kills
too many
for
ults.
KOs for free. It's 70% of the board now.
Ooh,
Chib as
nice
well as
Tiger.
these staggers come out super late, man. And potential
Holy
spawn
fuck,
camp comes
am I
out.
kill him?
Crimzo gets staggered
Oh
here.
my God, he
no,
kill
he
him.
does get
This
a
is
bubble.
crazy.
Strategist there to heal him. You do
But
have
bro, Shiki
Wolverine
has
coming
so
towards the
many
point.
ults
Super
now.
Gomez or somebody was
They're
behind.
gonna
ready
be
to
up
touch
like
the
1 or 2.
objective, make sure Shikigami's
For
on the greatest spot, but they still have a combo in Daze ready to go with the last stand too.
Bro,
They're ready to
Daze,
hit a huge straight in prison.
Ooh.
There's a lot of ultimates for Shikigami. It's even trade right now. Crimzo falls. Crazeman with an early pick. Craze
Yeah, now
does
he's
have
just
ult
running back.
as well. Crimzo did, unfortunately.
Now they have the Luna
There's just
ult
so
advantage.
much back and forth there. They're just trying to get to
Massive.
the point. They are on point now, forcing them to return. Crazeman throws the ult out. Doesn't manage to make
was
anything
good.
happen. Good focus there by Kurova to drop back.
he's
Right,
dead.
amazing takes out Dinks
He's
though.
dead.
Sentinels are pushing through. I don't know how they did it. Kurova on the Craze as well.
Yeah, they might do it indeed. I mean, there's the rest of Shikigami falling over in overtime.
Yeah, I don't
Sentinels
know.
do
That
get
grill,
the objective,
man,
do
I
get
don't
the
know.
point, and sadly, that's what
Okay, now
that's
they
the
only
same thing
have
that
to
happened
win
in felt
one
like on the
fight.
previous rounds.
But they
for
use so many
Shikigami. They
ults
just
to get
kind of
nothing, bro.
collapsed from Super Gomez's flank. They just didn't know how to react, and
They didn't get
with
anything
that, now
at the
Sentinels
Star-Lord
put themselves
ult,
in the driver's
the
seat
Groot
with
ult.
a pretty good ult bank as well. I mean, unless Amadian can
No,
go
Sentinel
absolutely
has
huge
the
with his
advantage.
ultimate, no
But
strategy,
this
well,
should
there's
be
a strategy
2
ultimate for
fights.
Armori, so
Like,
it's gonna be
one
really hard
fight,
for
one big
Shikigami to
fight,
win
and then
this
a TP
upcoming
fight
which
after.
is, you know, it all is on the line here. If you
We're
lose
both
this
team
one,
tied
it's
TP
over
on.
on map number 1.
Yeah, I can't believe how that shook out. It looked heavily on the side of Shikigami. It's just Sentinel's coordination was beautiful. Good tackle.
Like, somehow no passive.
Not able to make anything happen. Still, actually pops.
Yeah, he's looking to
does
start
lose
his ult again,
massive
bro.
as well during that fight.
Look at this shit, bro.
Unfortunate here for Super Gomez.
Yeah, if you get it
Shikigami
good,
gonna dive in here. Jinx gonna pop that Fate of Both Worlds, but it's gone now. Ult advantage Armory, and now it's just a basic fight. Who can make things happen without Q's?
Daze
Super
dies
Gomez
at
gonna drop Daze. That's a
93%.
great early take.
Not good,
Team is
buddy.
just dropping back,
he's
knowing
gonna
they
have
can
to
get point
TP,
for a
bro.
second. Give them a little bit of time to reset. Kalush very low. Just group pressure alone, knowing that it can't be sucked up into the Meteor M. And it looks like Sentinels are going to take this
Come
thing.
on, Shiki.
That'd be Daze portal. Is he going to be there in time? Can anybody touch?
Nah,
It
Daze
looks like there's somebody on the
Bro,
objective.
Daze waited
now.
so
Portal will be
much
here.
time.
So they're able to come back, but Amadi and Dinks both gone. We'll see what they can do, right? Ultimate from Krasmang. Ricky is here with the
Krasmang has
ultimate.
lost.
The dance
Kader
floor is
has
on the
lost.
objective to sustain this front line.
They
Here
actually
comes the
have the
Meteor as
advantage
well in the
of
back. Can it connect on anybody? If it does, that'd be huge. With a crystal from
Ay, ay,
Armori. Perfectly timed. Super Gomez
Shiki,
blows the
bro.
last stand.
My
Takes
hit
down
twitch is
Amadian.
ruined, bro.
Shikigami's portal
Fuck,
is removed.
Shiki, bro. What
It
the
looks
fuck are
like
we
they
doing,
just thought,
guys?
hey, we might lose this. Let's
What are we
get it
doing,
into
guys?
gear. And Sentinels just turning everything around. Incredible crystals there by
Motherfucker
Armori,
ruining my
completely
E1
shutting down
kill.
an ultimate. We talked about how valuable those are, and just making
fuck.
plays off of that could potentially
bro.
round winning for them right there. Really well done by Sentinels to figure it out.
Got it
man.
done indeed. Map number 1, round number 1 did
not
not
over, it's
look
not
good at all. But if anything, bodes to show what's going to happen in the rest of the series. I think this map was definitely a great showing for both teams. Now we're entering that round number 2 in this best out of 3. So if Sentinels win
Kraz kind of fucked
one
up.
more map, that puts them
Bro,
forward
Shiki
in
has
this
so
upper
many
bracket.
good
Meanwhile, for
positions,
Shikigami,
bro.
that would send
They
them
used to
down
win
below.
fight so cleanly and then
What
just
a way
lost
to
them
start it off there,
bad.
Chib, with this matchup between 2 storied franchises so far, 2 storied teams from the Invitational.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Super Gomez, the stat lines, we talk about stat lines a lot, obviously, can be very misleading. You look at Shikigami's stat lines, and they are disturbing. They look like they won the game. If I had no idea who won, I would have looked there and assumed that they had taken it. But you go over to Super Gomez, 14 final hits, just looking like an absolute fiend there on the Wolverine. And before we dive into any more of this stuff and get into the next game of the series, let's check out these highlights.
Bro, they lost a fight where they got 2 kills with Mag and Groot. Oh. But I'm just gonna say, bro, if your win condition is Mag plus Groot combo, it's not good enough, bro. Bro, if Kalush times his shield good, you're never gonna kill anyone, bro. Bro, Shiki losing like that is crazy. He's throwing, bro. Guys, come on, guys.
Remember the dusk, the lights gripping tightly, trapping all those fighting souls, but yet across the world I see you standing in my way. And remember the time.
No Sentinels. I think this might be controversial. I really think this is gonna be controversial, bro. But I think we're gonna have to do it. I think they're mid. I'm just gonna say it. I just think they're mid. So we'll start with 100 user. This is the result for fucking MRI, bro. Literally undefeated the entire tournament. Might have some music behind, you know what I'm saying? Need some background music.
Okay, chat's time. It's time. Venom is going in that A tier. Venom, not a tank.
Okay.
Makes sense to me. Hella, another instant ban is looking the exact same as last time here on the ban front. If they were staying consistent, they're going to try to lock in the Luna and Groot here on both sides. If I were a betting man, that's where I would be guessing. And, you know, one thing that we've been seeing, at least from these teams, is getting rid of the Bucky, which I personally think is in an insanely strong state right now. Bucky, Namor, both of which, you know, Namor obviously plays great into the Groot, so I'm going to assume the ban is going to be on the other side here. We'll probably see Namor right now. Yeah. Oh, wait, on the same side. Interesting. Just more so didn't want to see it. Maybe they want to try to run the Bucky with the Groot.
They don't buy
Yeah,
the cool.
yeah, and they ban it on Sentinel's side, so it's just the exact same ban protect phase as we literally just saw. I think it was.
Yeah, no, it's the same people, just on a different rotation. So, oh no, just kidding. No, wait, it is the exact same. I'm losing my mind here. But yeah.
No, yeah, I mean it makes sense for these two teams. They feel confident, obviously, on that Star-Lord Wolverine duo. You know, a lot of teams we've seen earlier, you know, played a lot of Namor and Hela alongside each other because those two characters are super strong, and Bucky as well being played. We haven't seen much triple strategist because it feels like one of the teams doesn't like to play it. They either, you know, feel like the other team has an advantage in triple strategist or whatever. Keep banning Adam Warlock to just avoid that tandem. And now for Shikigami's side, maybe they can get something going for their offense on a brand new map.
Yeah, maybe it has to do with Crimzo being in and not Hogs. Maybe Hogs, you know, they're more comfortable running the triple with Hogs. I'm not sure how that looks, right? That goes into the minutia of what the teams have been running, what they're feeling comfortable with, and their communications. But I do like the idea of Crimzo still on this Groot and that being his pocket pick if they're going to allow the Groot through on both sides.
Interesting if, you know, both teams play these compositions. I do think that, you know, a lot of the discussion behind the winning team getting the bans and protect does definitely have some merit because Kurova and Sentinels like playing around this Luna Snow. Shikigami really couldn't do much against it considering they had first ban. See what happens here as Shikigami start off on the attack, running the mirror again.
And here we go. Scatter gonna take this space as much as possible on the straight side here, just forcing the team back to the left. Height tried to be pressed here by Rymazing. Great bubble. There's that combination we like to see a lot. The Magneto bubble into the spin to win, just getting that alt charge and trying to hit as many people as possible. Super Gomez, great tackle, an incredible Wolverine here. Craze does go down early. That's great spacing and great attack. In terms of the defensive side, being aggressive and getting a pick like that on somebody trying to take a little extra space is so valuable. It's going to force the entire team to drop back and not stagger here.
And Gomez not taking out that clone like you said, just making sure he can keep up at 100 chart. On that front line, Cart still trying to push, but Super Gomez again with the kidnap. Is he stuck in the doorway? Nope. Does get frozen. Passive also proc. Nice job to peel off the tackle from Gomez.
And Day's gonna make the official assault. Rymazing propping off with the legend. Gonna find Ricky. And there is going to be some dance floor smash on both sides. Do we see a double up? No. We do see Aramori out. Kaluj in the sky with a meteor. Ton of damage on it. Doesn't land, unfortunately. Great positioning indoors. But Day's just swiping away at everyone in there. Building those claws up to 100. Dealing as much damage as possible through the dance floor. Not able to get any value just yet, but almost that ultimate. And this could be a crazy last stand.
Oh there my goodness, Carter's fair and balanced. Fair and balanced,
goodness. Days with a 3-piece and a side of fries as Amadian cleans it up.
Beautiful from Days and the rest of the team. Shikigami playing those ultimates very well. Long fights, as you can tell. Viewers, just constant back and forth copies from Diggs, you know, Luna Snow dance floor, aka Fate of Both Worlds on the side. And again, we're going into another fight immediately as the portal comes back through from Kaluj. Everybody's stunned and slowed though from Shikigami coming out of the choke point, or yeah, Sentinels coming out of that portal. Unfortunately, cost them this fight, so they just kind of run in towards the objective, scatter in, and nice work from Shikigami to not get startled by that portal re-engage.
Great early attack, a ton of time on the clock here. This is a very difficult point to attack, in my opinion. You do get a strong defensive side at the end here with the high ground on the left and the wall on the right. The wall can be used offensively with something like a Eye of Agamotto jump over that right side wall, but outside of that, it's very difficult to get a ton of value with ultimates in that little choke there on offense. But we do see this team just kind of maintaining this positioning, really, or like kind of holding the flow of the map, and it's really working out for them as they do start with a meteor off the rip.
Meteor off the rip indeed. Does it connect? No, it's just a bit too far. I feel like we can see that wasn't gonna connect from the cross side of the map. Meanwhile, Fate of Both Worlds to sustain versus the Strength in Prison. The follow-up was not there from Kaluj. Now he commits the ultimate to counter Shikigami's aggression, but not going to be able to connect. It's avoided again from Shikigami. Last stand onto Craze. Able to connect onto Kaluj's angle as well. Super Gomez right now has been amazing for Sentinels. I feel like it's found so much value out of Wolverine throughout the series.
Absolutely. I do like that retake there. Well done by Sentinels. You know, this is the story with them. It seems like they need to get beat up before they find their footing. And once they find their footing, it just is on. You know what I mean? It's like they've turned the light switch on and it's just working for them. So let's see if they're able to maintain that position. Obviously going to be heavy down in ultimates in this fight, as we will see Craze popping that ultimate, potentially going to link with the last stand here by Daze again. Daze with a mean ultimate off the rip. Will he keep it consistent? Tries to get in there. Great crystals there. Legendary up in the sky. Galactic Legend. Craze going to find Gomez without having to use anything, but Amazing taking out Daze early is a great pick.
Yeah, trades it back and forth, especially since that Wolverine has ultimate, and that's usually what we see in the late game to find eliminations. Brute ultimate on the side from Krasman, met immediately by Madian to give some sustain over the high ground, get that damage out. On to Crimzo, who got picked off on the backside, not near those crystals from Aramori. And now Amadian is just able to run towards the backline with Krasman, dive towards Kurova. Bold strategist will surely be removed. Off the map, though, goes Kraz from Super Gomez. Nice tackle from him. But honestly, from Shikigami, they played that so well there, Shib. Krasman hitting the Strangling Prison, Amadian in the sky. Kaluj used the Meteor M earlier, so they couldn't counter Amadian. And right now, 2 minutes to go for Shikigami in the streets phase is honestly a pretty good time bank. They have to be happy about that.
Yeah, you know, they're playing very well. They do have ult advantage again. I mean, it just seems like every fight they come out on top, and they're still holding on to the advantage in the next fight. So we do begin again with Ricky in great positioning, the spin to win above, trying to get something here. Amazing just wants to get that ult, and it is going to be popped. Here comes the counter. Amazing pops. Aramori holding on, getting ready to use the dance floor off Kurova. Scatter is going to go up the sky. The Meteor M doesn't find value. Immediate going to take out Gomez. Daze does have that ult in. Last stand, not able to get anyone. Ricky, it does have the dance floor for the final take. It's just so back and forth with these Galactic Legends. So now Diggs, great positioning here, pumping into the full team. You have Loki crystals like that. Diggs not afraid to pop that Fate of Both Worlds again up in the sky. Not able to get any value with that dunk from the Meteor M. And Shikigami just holding this thing so close. The tackle, the last stand, doesn't get anyone. No! Great hold onto that Fate of Both Worlds, keeping the team in. Diggs with a great copy, ensuring that nobody falls on either side.
Legendary, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when Daze slam dunks the rest of your team. Although, wait a minute. Rai, Super Gomez, they're still on the cart. They've also got heals from Kurova. Shikigami, they don't have any really potential damage here on the backside. Amazing able to take down Ricky, so just kidding. Wait, oh no, they're about to come out. Don't touch. Okay, they even come back through and touch the cart. But oh my god, that was insane from Daze. Met by Sentinels on the side. Amazing hitting his ultimate at the perfect time, and then Super Gomez is on the low ground. We can see why this duo of Super Gomez and Amazing has been such a mainstay in the scene. They kind of put the team on the back on their backs at points. 6 seconds left to go. I mean, Shikigami's got to touch now.
Yeah, and here comes the teleport through. Try to wall it off. Crimson with the right idea is going to start placing these down now. Try to find some extra value on damage. Just try to get to that ult. 70%. Looks like Sentinels are going to be down slightly on ultimate. Super Gomez, though, with the last stand. You know how strong those can be. There goes the tackle. Gomez. Not sure if it got anyone. Scatter. Going to take out Kurova and Amazing. That's an incredible Meteor M as they are up in numbers, but immediately going to get Prison back in. Walls dealing a ton of damage. Scatter still at full HP. Great job here by the strategist. Driving through as Gomez falls. Kaluj falls. Crimzo falls, and Shikigami is going to take point 2.
Absolutely beautiful Vanguard gameplay from Shikigami. Scatter back and forth. You know, where am I going to go with this giant meteor? And it is into the back line of Sentinels. Gives them that point. Then with the follow through from the rest of the team. Kraz also, his timing with these Strangling Prisons has been perfect. Sentinels, we'll see if they can hold on right now, and if Shikigami can match the ultimates of their side.
And here we go. Galactic Legend up off the rip. Sentinels try to take this advantage early. Aramori going to pop all, or that might be a visual glitch, as there doesn't seem to be anything out there just yet, unless they're waiting on the pop of the Q. Yes, they are. There it is. The Fate of Both Worlds comes out early. And we do see no major value yet. Just kind of stalling on points. Super Gomez got to get the tackle and take Crazebang off the map there. That's a good trade to drop a Vanguard like that, especially one as impactful as Groot with those walls. Good job here by Aramori to pop out those crystals. 75% till the next ult. Looks like ult advantage is still slightly going to be in the side of Sentinels if none of these land. Scatter up in the sky. There goes Kaluj. Does find one. Well done by Kaluj there onto the Eye of Agamotto. Still pressing into space. It looks like Sentinels are holding on and shoving them back. Great ult there on the side of Crimzo, and they do manage to take out 5 with 13 seconds on the clock. Will they be able to touch?
I mean, no portal because they used it earlier. Spawn camp now coming through. You also can't get it this way. You have to rely on your Venom touching the objective, but unfortunately, either Smart Swing or whatever it may be, Scatter cannot get through the choke, and that's as far as Shikigami will go on their attack, 65 meters. Now we swap side Sentinels over to the offense, and swapping on the defense is Shikigami.
Yeah, not a bad push by any means, right? We have seen teams get to that third point there. It seems like when they get to the third point, it's either a full push or it's held directly where they just had it after that first turn, which if you ask me, wouldn't be where I would expect it to always end, but must be something about that high ground and just positioning. It's tough to push through at this level of the game, especially when Groot's there and he can just wall off all these different zones and force you into just one path. So really well done there in terms of the defense at the end by Sentinels. But Shikigami, when they're down, they are not out. They always manage to make these fights go in their favor, but they just need to make something happen here to push this to game 3.
See if they could do it. On the side of Sentinels, I feel like the reasoning behind having Super Gomez and Wolverine is definitely sound. I mean, Super Gomez, one of the best Wolverine players in the entire world in North America as well. Kind of put the team on his back on Wolverine. Match even on Star-Lord because he was like one of the best Star-Lords in the game early on. Right? Amazing has been sort of that flex onto, a lot of different heroes, onto the Psylocke at points for him whenever that character is meta. Now having to play a lot more Star-Lord, which is obviously, I'm sure if you're a Sentinels fan, a little bit tough to see considering how Super Gomez does and how he performs on the Star-Lord. Shikigami's defense is quite interesting here, Shib. They're going to be rocking triple Vanguard with the Storm to follow it up, man.
I love it. I was just going to say, unique defensive strategy here. We are going to see the Storm, but then we see the triple Vanguard. I mean, and Daze is actually, somebody was just popping off on Wolverine. It's going to be on Doctor Strange. Karova down goes Amadian, right? Amazing Craze. Down goes Daze. Oh my goodness. Sentinels coming out hot. Just steamrolling this opening, and their entirety of Shikigami gets deleted in seconds.
Yep, and this was because of what you brought about earlier with Aramori swapping to Scarlet Witch, so Luge gets the sword. So you get that team up with the Scarlet Witch and with the Magneto, then you swap off of that hero. But right as we say that, we're going into yet another fight. Shikigami all low. Super Gomez with the kidnap onto Daze as well. Almost finds the pick, and in fact does in the sky. That was beautiful from Gomez.
Yeah, as playing Doctor Strange, there's nothing more terrifying than knowing that Wolverine gets that other dash and he's going to get up on your feet. I don't know if I loved that teleport being so aggressive off the rip. I mean, they are going to be able to retouch, so there is some value in that. But now you've got to press through Groot walls with no way through just to get into this next fight, because obviously Crimzo is going to set up here, as you see, setting up everything for the fight and just giving them a slight advantage on this early take. Alts still going to be available here for Sentinels, and it looks like Shikigami's in a tough spot, getting reverse rolled after they did the same thing in point 1.
Yep, momentum shift indeed, Shib. Super Gomez trying to continue it. Another kidnap into the sky. Last stand into the ground. No Strategist ultimates here. Oh no, the Crystal's a bit too late. Also, Super Gomez said passive didn't even need it necessarily. Over to the sky. Kalush goes with the Meteor M. Can he connect? No Crystals here. Cannot necessarily, but they still have the edge in terms of ultimate Sentinels and players towards the cart.
Gomez very patient there, waiting for a nice pick, and here goes the Alpha Scatter. Bang! Down goes Aramori. Really well done there by Scatter. The tornado's out for a median, but Amazing just deletes the tornado out of the sky. The dunk for Daze again. Tries to be, wow, well done. Waits patiently, looks for the opening onto the back line, and they are going to get some value out of that as down goes Kaluge and the Strategist line. They've got to make sure that point doesn't get pushed any further. 2 meters on. And dang, Crimzo falls. Dinks and Cray is going to clean up the rest. And they are going to be able to hold on. Well done here. And good knowledge in terms of knowing they can get 3 fights even without using that teleport.
Yep, I took the words right out of my mouth, Shib. I mean, that was amazing how Shikigami played that to a perfection, even though they were down a man in that fight. Like you said, getting 3 fights is perfect. Now you're set up with 1 minute and 22 seconds on the clock. Basically last fight territory. And you force out Crystals, you throw in the Strangling Prison on top of it for Shikigami.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I think is difficult is you ran the 3 Vanguard, which I don't necessarily dislike, but into Super Gomez's Wolverine, right? Like, that is very tough to do. And Super Gomez, you mentioned a very strong Wolverine as we see Kaluge get that early pick. Sentinels now getting a little more space up in numbers here. Odds in the favor of the ultimates, which look like Shikigami has two strategists here ready for action. Bang! Oh, gets caught. Well done. Great catch there by the side of Scatter, who now can use that meteor right back at them. But the cooldowns will be up for Kaluji. Knowing that's going to happen, he's going to hold on to those as much as possible. And here comes the counter ultimate into the sky. Craze is going to drop Crimzo, though. They're down another number. Here goes the crystals are out early, too. This is looking back in Shikigami's favor. But now Sentinels have everything in their arsenal to use. Super Gomez going to hard focus Craze. Down goes Craze. Well done by Gomez. And there's continuing this stall fight on the point.
What's the counterplay, dude? Super Gomez just stunned him for 9 seconds or whatever, man. That was like absurd. Poor Kraz on the side. He's going to come back with a TP. Also, Scatter's going to fall, so they have to funnel into this payload without crystals as well. Here comes them out of the teleporter. It's into the Wolverine claws. Legendary in the sky, though, from a Madian, but it doesn't end up mattering. Well, actually, able to find Kurova on the freeze from Ricky was nice as well, and what's happening towards the cart? Dazes with another one. Shikigami kidnaps Aramori too. They've held in overtime. Super Gomez last stand tries to clutch it, but it's just him. Nobody else is here. Shikigami, they might have done it.
We look like we may be going to game 3. Shikigami with a 0.1 hold. This is crazy. Team is clutch when they need to be. And what a beautiful push, but what an even better defense. Just managing to push through the minutia, just every single thing that didn't look like it was going their way. They just battled back and clutched up and get the W as Dinks is going to take this MVP home.
Yeah, right now, it's kind of weird for Sentinels. It feels like they, rely heavily on those clutch scenarios, like you said, being able to win off of Super Gomez or whoever it may be. Kaluj with that Meteor M, once that didn't connect, it connected. It just had, I think what happened was it was an immediate crystal by Dinks. Like his timing, his APM there, that was like insane to save themselves from that Meteor M. And then with that, they're able to come back. Daze had a huge last stand, massive moments on Wolverine. You talked about the stats earlier. You'd think the other team won, but in this case, Shikigami have been doing so well.
Yeah, there's just something about Shikigami in these team fights. You know that Sentinels has the brain power to get these W's in clutch moments, but Shikigami in these team fights, they always manage to just have massive plays, and it just keeps working out for them. Before we talk about more of this, let's dive into the highlights.
I think they're mid. I'm just gonna say it. I just think they're mid. So we'll start with 100 teams. This is the result for that fucking MRI, bro. We're gonna be undefeated. No Sentinels. I think this might be controversial. I really think this is gonna be controversial, bro. But I think we're gonna have to do it. I think they're mid.
Trapping all those fighting souls, but yet across the world I see you standing in my way. And remember the time, the place we used to.
What the fuck is this?
Everyone say fireworks.
I really think this is gonna be controversial, bro. But I think I'm gonna have to do it. I think they're mid. I'm just gonna say it. I just think they're mid. So we'll start with 100 T's. Oh, fair light. Lower the audio on that. Alright, bro. Literally undefeated the entire tournament. Absolutely fucking dominant. They've shown some weakness at time, but they're clearly the best team in NA. Their tanks are just so good, bro. TTK and Vinny, bro. You're never like, oh, what the fuck is TTK doing? You're never like, what the fuck is Vinny doing, you know? High floor, high ceiling players. TTK always dunks on people with his moggles. Vinny always gets at least one kill with his Grudal. I think Delena's the best DPS player in NA. His Hela is nasty, but he can also play Namor, Starlord, Salak at a pretty high level too. He's one of the only players I've seen make Salak work. Mostly against the Raccoons. And the Adams. Terra's really good on the Wolverine, bro. Probably the best Wolverine in NA. His Wolverine is crazy. His Buck is also really nice. He does tend to get caught sometimes. He gets hooked and shit, but he's a really good player in himself. And the supports, they don't really make any mistakes. They're solid. They do their job right. So, you know. Elite team, the best team in NA. After the beginning group stage, round 1, 2, 3, bro, double elimination, they just looked lost. Like, they elite team, the best team in NA. After the beginning group stage, round 1.
The Sentinels. But today, for Shikigami's side, right? What an upset for them if they were to beat Sentinels coming up onto Midtown. Map choice for Sentinels. Considering how things went too in that previous map, you might be a little tilted if you're Sentinels side, Ship, considering you almost just were able to cap out on that first point and just got stopped every time.
Yeah, I just think the swaps were made that were necessary for Shikigami, and they learned from their mistakes. They saw where they were struggling, and I like the idea. I mean, I at first was a little questionable about that teleport play, and you know they lost that fight, but it did force out some ults, and it didn't really matter because it just gave them a third point touch anyway.
I don't think
they
they're
took
like
that teleport
doing
so
anything
early on that they had plenty of time to get back,
I'm pretty sure they're
and they
losing the
held
group
the
mirror,
whole
bro.
rest of the map right up there on the high ground. So really well done by
Because
Shikigami.
keep in mind
Big brain
that,
plays, and you can see their practice coming through.
Kraz has to deal with Super Gomez Wolverine, bro.
Thingman gets banned, or Thingman,
and they're still pretty
Thing
even.
gets banned.
So I think
As
Kraz
that
is
second
winning
ban for
this,
Shikigami, so a bit of a difference. We'll see if it changes much, considering, yeah, you see immediately Thing ban instead of Namor. It got through this time around for both sides, you know, feeling like they can play some of that Namor, which obviously Sentinels looks like they're favoring it.
Sentinels map, bro.
Yeah, I think you get rid of the Thing here. This is a very strong Thing map with those. He has a lot of different hallways to make haymaker plays and escape patterns for his Yancey Street. So really strong Thing map. Shikigami taking that off the table, maybe not feeling as confident as they know the Sentinels can be. The thing is, I think Hogs runs a ton of the Thing, and he's not on the roster right now, so it's unique. Maybe it was just a, you know, maybe they felt confident that someone else could run it as well, but just maybe a weird decision. I'm not sure exactly how that pans out, but we will be seeing the defense on the side of Shikigami off the rip. The Sentinels will be pushing with a very similar composition. You know, Super Gomez is going to be on that Wolverine, right? Amazing, a very strong Namor. Saw a lot of success during the MRI. So excited to see that as well. And now we have the combination, the Prison with the Whale. And we know how strong that can be,
they're going for the combo.
If the damage boost is up there from Kurova.
Yeah, we can. We do know for sure.
Shiki's supports were pretty good.
Offense has that advantage, rather, for Shikigami's side. Oh my god, immediately Kurova, nice job onto Madian. Pick off on that backside angle from Sentinels to go around that left flank. But they have the advantage with the Scarlet Witch, right? Once they have Aramori swap over to it to the Scarlet Witch to give the team up to Kaluj. And sitting that sword early on, but now, once that cooldown is removed, Shikigami was able to trade it back.
Really done triple tank.
Yeah, I like the sword play. I do think we've been seeing that a lot more today.
Oh, they're on
Magneto
defense?
already very,
He's
very
on offense,
strong. But,
he's on
ooh,
defense.
nice tackle right onto the door. That puts Daze in a dangerous position. Daze, obviously versatile enough to switch over.
Okay, they're holding
roles here,
close. They're
playing
doing
with
the same
Doctor Strange
shit.
a lot. Oh, and that's a great ult there by Crimzo. Will they be able to follow up with the wall up to protect? Great positioning. Still going to be able to find
I
a
don't
few.
know, bro.
Super Gomez
They're
takes out
holding
Ricky, but
decent.
Frey's going to turn that around on
Yo, the
Gomez.
low-key ult's
Even those
gonna
numbers
be
right
up
back out.
again, bro.
As
Ricky
the
died,
entirety
which
of
is really
Shikigami
bad,
is
bro.
still holding on this early on the defense. Ooh.
Yeah,
now
they're
they're just
so
gonna be
good
back.
at playing the objective.
They're gonna
Like,
be
sure, they
back.
get wiped now. But you
Bro,
talked
they
about it,
ulted
Shib,
so
dude. Like, they're
early,
so
bro.
good at
The
just
low-key
making
had
it so
their
they
ult
get
so
1,
early,
2,
bro.
3 fights. And,
That shit is
you know, this
crazy.
is looking a lot like other hero
now
shooters when
Sentinels
you can
have
just get
2
as many
ults.
fights as they have been.
And one of the things that I'll mention is a lot of teams, they hold at
they
this
don't have
bridge
the
first,
Neymar
right? Like,
combo.
that is their first
Yeah,
choke
do
point. They
have
stay on the
Neymar.
high ground on bridge. But you just got a
do
full,
that Neymar.
almost minute before you even got to the bridge.
Dog, they
That
do
is,
the
like you're saying,
same
that's just that
shit, bro.
next level thought process
yo,
in
they're
place. You're
supposed to
talking
be
about
in
multiple
trouble,
fights and
bro.
buying time.
Like,
That is
why
where
not go-
Shikigami, I think,
yo,
is
why not
shaking
go
things up.
high,
Super
bro?
Gomez gonna drop Daze.
Why not go high ground,
on
Daze, bro?
Scatter. Once again, a quick
Daze, bro,
teleport
you
and
keep
a quick team
selling.
wipe.
I guess they
as
could just
Sentinels
fucking
make things
contest
happen. Still
again
holding ult advantage.
by
But
walking.
now they will get another fight. I would argue that that teleport, again, trying to be aggressive. They did get another fight. Maybe it was worth, but Sentinel still having ult advantage. Maybe
Daze,
not.
bro,
but
it's TP
still,
high ground,
that argument
bro.
around
Let
how
your
many
support
fights to get on
get
this
a good
first point,
position, bro.
you know, just buying as much time as possible is a really unique strategy.
Yeah, they've chewed 2 minutes off the clock already, and there's definitely discussion, especially if they win this series, how viable it is to do that. Right now into this fight,
Early
Meteor M
Mago.
against Sentinels. We'll see if it connects. No, it
Nothing.
doesn't, but does
Ooh,
force out
Crimso's
Crystal.
dead.
And Crimso's gone
Position,
already.
bro.
Yeah, Craze with a nice early pick
Wall
there on
combo.
Crimso. Obviously having the Groot out is strong, right? Amazing. Going to take out a Median, though. Still turning those tides back. We are going to
Can
see
they kill it?
the dance
Oh my
floors
god,
out
what
of
a hook,
tackle,
bro.
out of the sky. Our Daze, an insane play
Gomez,
there
let's look
on
at
the right.
Gomez.
Amazing.
Gomez doesn't get anything
Waiting
with his
for that
ult.
bubble to pop, and they're just tackling him right out of the sky. Up we go. Kaluj.
Ooh,
Bang.
what happened?
Time there
It
to
goes
escape.
one.
Oh,
Oh
still
my
gets the
God.
pick. Nice follow-up there by Kaluj. Ricky thought they were safe, but not for
That's
long.
Crimson's ult,
And
right?
Super Gomez just going to deal a ton of damage, fully charged up here on the Wolverine.
Ooh, Gomez
Yeah, it might be too
is
many,
gonna
too many
ult.
people on Sentinel's side towards
Yeah,
this
that's an easy
payload,
win
towards
for
the
Sentinels.
objective. A Median gonna fall over. Daze is
I don't know,
entering
bro. I
second
don't know, bro.
phase of the map now.
Y'all did
But
all
it's incredible
that
how much
just to
time was shoot off the
let
clock
them
there.
have
They
an
were
extra
down
minute.
to a minute. Now we're at a
Like, you have a
time,
minute.
2
You
minutes
had a
and
minute.
30
That's not even
seconds.
OT, bro.
Now in the streets
That's
phase,
just say that
Sentinels
TP
have
that Daze
ultimates
keeps
again. Right,
trolling.
Mason's over to the Doctor Strange again, by the
Bro
way.
keeps
So
TPing
we'll
behind.
see if he wants to stick
Sure,
with
you
it.
can TP
Or they're actually
behind,
going to
but
try to
fucking below,
swap
bro.
in the spawn later on. There it is, swapping back over to the mirror again, where Sentinels do have an edge.
Yeah, I'm curious if they had that conversation. You know, can we make a play with this? Can we portal off? And then it just did not, you know, bode well with the team.
Gomez
Just made that
assault.
switch immediately back. But great pressure here. Kurova on that left side, trying to drive the team back. Getting him back in that choke in the staircase is very
Gomez
difficult.
playing defense,
We do see some early action. Right, amazing. Up, bang. Down goes two. Super Gomez gonna
When
find
did he
Daze
even
and
kill the
Craze
Wolverine, bro?
early on. Well done, Gomez. Putting on a masterclass here with this Wolverine. An absolute demon. Make that
Yeah, I think
3 as Scatter falls as well. And yeah, Sentinels back on their BS here, shoving in with a full team wipe.
Yeah, this is the difficulty for Shikigami when you have such a game plan as their own, where you just want to get as many team fights as possible. You need to sort of refocus, come back into it, and really just try to win a team fight. And oh man, Daze. I wonder what the game plan really was there, because he was just walking out of the choke
That shit
Daze
is
as
over.
well. I mean,
didn't wanna
obviously,
watch, bro.
it didn't pan out whatsoever, and now with that, Sentinels,
Yeah.
I mean, this is just free farm for
They're
Ryan.
just-
The high ground, we're moving into the third phase of the map.
Okay, bro. Alright, that shit's over.
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm out. I'm out of here, bro. What is this? Cause what is this, bro? Bro, Shiki be disappointing me, bro. I'm disappointed. I'm fucking disappointed, Shiki. I'm disappointed, bro. Y'all couldn't cook him.
Moving on to the rest, Super Gomez, right? Amazing, and Kurova. Kurova popping out now. Might see the whale.
Over, bro.
That should be sufficient.
Enjoy the amplifier!
Double KO! That's 3! Wow, 4 in a row!
I'd like to make an official video that I no longer hate Rocket. Like, I actually think he's a pretty good healer now.
Oh, yeah.
So what's up, guys? Jay here. I wanted to talk about my boy Rocket's.
Rocket player, I'm not listening. Not listening. Rocket player, not listening. We're not playing the same video game, bro.
When I started,
Nah, he's Kobe.
Just trying to keep eyes on Days. Crystals go out early.
Nah, he's Kobe. Okay. Nah, he's Kobe. Yeah. The drums of liberation. 1, 2, 3, bro. Double elimination. They just looked lost. Like they team the best team in NA. After the beginning group stage, round 1, 2, 3, bro. Double elimination. They just looked lost. Like they played so bad. And it was 1 week after the seeding and the rounds. And it feels like they just got worse somehow. They were just so bad. So I'm just gonna put them in bad. Shikigami. I really think that Shikigami can be a top 4 team in NA, bro. The way they played in the elimination in the lower bracket quarters, it was absolutely absurd. They went to 5 games with Team Envy, and Team Envy just beat Team Sentinels in the fight night in 5 games too last week. Seeding. He does tend to get caught sometimes, get hurt. They do their job right, so you know. Elite team, the best team in NA. Tight shit. No, a rad esport, bro. Any mistakes? They're solid. They do their job right, so you know. Elite team, the best team in NA. Tight shit. No, a rad esport, bro. Let's take a look at the rad. So bad. After right, so you know. Elite team, the best team in NA. Bad esport, bro. After the beginning group stage, round 1, 2, 3, bro. Double group stage. Beginning group stage, round 1, 2, 3, bro. Double elimination. They just looked lost. Like they played so completely absurd. They went to 5 games with Team Envy. They can fight against Envy. That's crazy, bro. Like if you saw them play, that shit was crazy. They were using the Rocket and the Venom damage boost. Literally damage boost the Venom ult. Literally killing the Luna and people inside the Luna ult. Absurd. It's really good, bro. It's pretty mid. They don't have any players that put the fear in God in you. I don't really fear any of their players. They have Mace as a tank player. He's not the best in my opinion. His mag is fine, but his strength is not that good. You have Luca, but you can target by Luca. If you ban out this Venom, what does he do? What does he play? He plays Strange. Hulk. Hulk is not good in this meta at all. You have
Up in the air, bang! God's managed to
He
take
doesn't have any signature moments where he just goes fucking ape shit. You know, Melena is their hella player. He's a good player, but like I think everyone in this team is like a top 10 player at their position, you know. There's no one that's like top 3, top 5 in their position. That's crazy, you know what I mean? It's just a well-rounded team. If they can get a star player, they could jump into a high upside tier. Now Shroud X. Shroud X. Bro, I really had some high expectations from Shroud X after how well they
Shikigami got outpaced right there by Raimazing in the Fate of Both Worlds alongside with the Whale. Getting that one shot now. Sentinels, they're back in it, right? Back in this next fight, having that Strangling Prison from Crimzo alongside even a damage boost if they do so choose to want it, whereas Shikigami have an ultimate advantage, but haven't been able to collapse upon Day's ultimates. Day's actually going to commit the last stand towards the cart to no avail as Kurova matches it with the Fate of Both Worlds towards the objective right now.
Yeah, and here comes some strong damage from Daze. We are going to see the Strangling Prison virtually getting everyone good tackle off to try to buy some time, but no. Team is going to retort to back to using those Fate of Both Worlds. Oh, the battle of the Luna, or excuse me, yeah, Luna versus Loki. The battle of the L's, unfortunately, going to go Loki's favor. I know a lot of people think Luna has a good 1v1, but Loki definitely has a better 1v1 in those situations. Scatter going to drop Kaluj, and Madian going to take out Aramori and Raimazing on the Storm. Good focus on the height there, as we haven't seen Storm too much, but definitely a valuable hero in her own right.
Yeah, we've seen it a lot in Europe, it seems. Over here in North America, obviously Sentinels like to run it, or used to like to run it with Raimazing playing a lot of that Storm, but it's very brawly, right? You want to constantly play together, give your team that damage boost, make sure you're constantly getting in frontline pokes. So we'll see if these team fights, Shikigami can kind of stay together and also get rid of Raimazing's squids. That should be priority number one for them.
Yeah, and we are going to have another fight here with 13 seconds on the clock. Madian and Crazeman going to find 2. Days going to take out Crimzo heavily in the favor here of Shikigami, as Noalt is able to find value on the opposition. Sentinel's going to have to retake. Great walls off up in the sky. Down goes the shift here for Namor, and bang, a Madian on Aramori, scatter on Raimazing, and it looks like Shikigami is going to take this towards point 2.
Let's say you have to play it, right? You just have to make sure Raimazing's never setting up on these flanks. Before on their defensive hold, they were not really matching Raimazing on said flanks, and now on the attack, it seems like they're managing Raimazing pretty well. So as long as he can't walk out with those squids, moving them out of the team fight, a lot of that damage is not going to be a problem. What will be a problem still, and a consistent problem for Shikigami, is going to be Kaluj and these Vanguards running it down, right? As long as a Madian can constantly shut out Crimzo and Kaluj, Shikigami might be able to snowball this.
Yeah, and here comes the Hurricane on the backside. Will they find it? Nope, unfortunately not, as it's immediately countered. Well done there by Kurova. Just trying to, Madian, likely just trying to get that out. Nice combination, won't have the on-counter. Kaluj gonna take out a Madian. Thought it was gonna find more, did a ton of damage. Super Gomez is gonna find more though and take out Scatter. Kurova on Craze. The team just collapsing, doing a great job here, and at this point, just gonna take out this Luna as Ricky falls as well.
Yep, and that fight's on Crimzo. Crimzo walled up that back line, made sure that they were away from any of their own group walls and support towards the objective. And then the Meteor from Kaluj connects over the top side. So nice job to wall up the player from Crimzo, one of the strategist players from Shikigami, to give them that main advantage going into this fight. Now Raimazing's got a Whale ready to go, but Shikigami, they have their own ult. What do they want to do?
Yeah, and here comes some strong damage. Super Gomez is trying to stack up some charge here. 39%. Raimazing holding on to the Whale. Aramori is going to be ready to make that copy. As we do hear the copy on some side, Dinks is going to start the dance floor up. Well, the damage boost happened. Daze is ready to make a last stand on Wolverine as well. Eye of Agamotto going to get a few. Doesn't find any value in terms of KOs. Not just yet. The walls go up, and we are going to see Qs popped on every side as we hear, oh, the last stand's coming. 100% charge here, ready to make a play. Daze just kind of holding on. Doesn't need it just yet. The tackle back there from Super Gomez. Great crystals there, and doesn't even need to use them as he takes out Gomez early, holding on to that cube. That could potentially very valuable in this next fight for them to help them take point 2.
Yeah, very scrappy fight for Sentinels, and a really bad one indeed on top of it. Right now, they're down ultimates. They just committed last stand. They've just committed Kaluj's ultimate.
Maybe Shiki has a chance, huh?
No longer can you get that one shot alongside Kurova. Look, Kaluj is over to Captain America as well now. They just want to stall out this objective. Maybe buy time for Crimzo to get a good Strangling Prison here in overtime.
Yeah, Daze dead. No.
Okay, here we go again. Raimazing gonna pop that shift early. Gonna stay in the bubble. Crystals go out. We do see the ultimate popped here from the side. Oh, wait, not able to get much value from a Madian there on the Star-Lord. Dinks with great positioning on the height with Loki. Great clone spots ready to pop crystals as they do get popped. Kaluj is gonna be on Captain America. Love to see this switch for the touch at the end. Crazeman very low and still holding on, but not for long. Super Gomez taking Raimazing onto the Dinks. And yeah, looks like just Sentinels are going to shut this down unless a portal play comes through.
Wait, Days? Yeah, he's gonna go down. You're right,
Bro,
Pro
him
play.
dying early is
Where's
super
it
bad,
at?
bro. I don't,
Is
it's
it
not his
coming?
best
The
series,
answer?
bro.
No. Sentinels?
Unlucky. Wasn't the best series overall. Some timely mistakes. Timely mistakes. Unlucky, unlucky. He started in the tourney. Shralex did pretty well considering absolutely fucking dominant. They've shown some weakness at time, but they're clearly the best team in NA. Their tanks are just so good, bro. TTK and Vinny, bro. You're never like, oh.
Hello?
You wanna play Poem Party? I have an account for you. It's TTK. You wanna play Poem Party? Yo, come play Poem Party, bro.
Is that what the fucking... Nah, can I play Animal Party? Play Animal Party.
Fuck Animal Party.
Bro, he's playing a Bucky.
I'm
doing too much, bitch. Oh, I'm going in.
Go in there. Go ahead.
I'm 1 HP, bro. Heal me. Heal me. Heal me.
Better watch your back.
Hello? HP Bargo.
I heal.
Almost there.
Hello?
Don't turn back now.
Sorrow here.
Come on, I'm gonna block this Thingo. Come on, Thingo, bro, please. I'm gonna block it. Thingo, I'm begging. I'm only saving my. I'm only saving it. I'm only saving my shit. I'm only saving it. I'm sitting in my team saving my shift.
What am I genuinely supposed to hold? Somebody please elaborate.
I can bubble you if you want.
Do we have something?
Bubble you anyways. That's bubble you Liddy anyways.
Ulting! Bye. Bubble.
Bitch, bitch, bitch.
Zero sucks.
I forced an ult.
Talk about this guy unlucky.
Bruh.
Bye.
Yeah, Mama Moko. Top tier kid.
Bye.
Bitch, bitch.
Preem leaves one.